Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine.
It's fine. Is that passive aggressive?
I don't want to shaft Thanksgiving. It's like when we build a tree, I want Christmas to be in sight.
Cheers, guys.
I feel like it is.
Oh yeah. Which drink do I pick up? Cheers.
He puts it on a piece of paper. That's his coaster. Yeah, there's no coaster in there?
Because I'm thoughtful.
I can give you a coaster.
Well, it's been a long Friday for Ash. That's why he has two
Let
drinks.
me move all these pro controllers.
Okay.
Sip on it, Jess.
I'll tell you what. Oh. Okay. I held that one in. I'm not even doing that to be funny. There was a little bit of a burn.
I
on
know
that
there
sip.
was probably for you.
But I like it. I really like it. What are we drinking?
Jack Daniel's Winter Cider. Specialty. Comes but once a year. It's only half of, I think Jack is like.
It's less than half.
Yeah, it's Jack. The cider's only 15%.
Yeah, regular's 40 or.
It's almost, yeah. It's nothing.
Yeah. So we're not going to feel anything off of this one beverage, you think?
It's going to take a lot more.
No, you're gonna feel it.
Try me.
You're gonna feel it.
He's got a beer and that.
Well, I'm going to have a couple of these, but we also have Crown Apple shots to take. It's both whiskey, so it won't be mixing.
I don't like that. You want me to do a shot? Well, I did say I was going to do it. Okay.
I'm gonna get the pumpkin.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I totally forgot about the pumpkin. It's in the closet, and then I would also like that Hunchback Leonardo if you're on the way back. Is this episode 9?
It's episode 9.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. That's 9 weeks.
Not in a row. Also,
Yeah.
you haven't missed yet.
Yeah, 9
is
weeks
pretty big.
plus the cabin episode, which we did two. We did 2 in a weekend. So no,
No.
we didn't.
Mhm.
So we're actually
10.
on week 10. We've just done 9 regular episodes.
Over 2 months.
Yeah. Coming off the heels of
love
our
that
successful episode with Trey last week.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Trey, thanks for coming on again, man.
I must say, I watched the new Tile Man episode last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I instantly thought of Trey, not because he plays old school, but just because he plays RuneScape in general.
Did you text him?
No, I did not.
No, you should have texted him.
I know, I should have. I don't text
We're
people, though.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
I don't text people.
You telling
so
me.
it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
I just don't like to, I don't know.
Oh, we get it. You don't need to explain it to us. That ship has sailed long ago where I care anymore. I just anticipate it. You're not going to answer.
But at least you get me, at least once a week. Usually, sometimes
know.
back in the day, you wouldn't see me for a month.
Do you remember when you just literally never used to answer my text messages?
Yeah.
And then I started freaking out about it, and now you just text me back every time. I mean, you used to be like, I would text him 6-7 texts in a row over the span of 4 days, and he just wouldn't. He would just look at it and be like, "Oh, cool," and that was it. Never talked to him.
I don't think you're that bad.
No, it was.
No, he's better now.
It was back then. It was like if he texted me and I was like, "Does this need a response?" And if
Yeah.
I didn't think it needed a response, I wouldn't reply.
Not awful. Not even a courtesy. Not even a thumbs up on it.
Does this need a response?
That was how I was back in the day. I would be like, "Does this need a response?" And if it didn't, I wouldn't reply. But yeah, I was pretty bad back then.
It's gotten better.
I feel like you text me 3-4 days out of every week.
I try to.
Yeah.
I try to text a couple people every week.
Yeah. Jesse and I are just out of control. We've got like 5 or 6 different group chats, and
I don't think a day has gone by, probably since 2020, that I haven't texted you, I think.
it just gets overwhelming sometimes. There's so many
Yeah, there's a lot of group
chats.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, you definitely have one for the podcast. You have one for church.
We don't.
No?
So
Well, it's unofficial.
Jesse, Trey, and I have one. Jesse, Pat, and I have one. Jesse, Zach, and I have one. Jesse, Tim, Daniel, and myself have one for sneakers.
So in other words, you both are in every person's individual. So you guys are with someone. Keep going.
We're also in a group chat with 2 guys that we go to church with.
Who's that?
Russ and Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Called Mammoth is the name of the chat. So that's 6.
And then we have one, me, you, Trey, and Pat.
which is 7. And then there's Jesse. just Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
But I'll look through my recents and 7 of the 10 most recent conversations you're in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's insane, man. It really is.
Oh man.
I'm sure you have an Overwatch chat too.
No.
Wrong.
But no, yeah, we don't. I want to. So real quick before we get into any of this, and while we're still early in the podcast, I want to address the Belgianites that I have in the notes. I'm curious because we do have people, quote unquote, people who listen, random people. We have some in Canada. We have some in the UK. They've downloaded it before. I'm curious if you're listening to this right now. I want to know who you are. I'm really curious. Either leave us a comment on YouTube, or I don't know how else you can review on iTunes or whatever. I think that's where they download a lot of it. I'm really curious if there's actual people across the globe that happen to be downloading it.
Well, listen, I pulled the stats on our episode with Trey. I think it's got almost 60 views. But I was looking at not only the geographic distribution, but they will give you a percentage of people that listened that are subscribed versus not subscribed. And over 50% of the people that listened are not subscribed.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's 60 to 70.
So,
yeah,
it's not just us, which I think the two of you don't even listen on YouTube. Do you?
Mm-mm.
I use Apple.
Yeah.
I use Apple.
So
I could use YouTube because I have premium, but I just choose
I do YouTube
Apple.
for the timestamps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's
I've
at
got
least
premium.
one.
So
His parents listen on YouTube. We did see Marty just subscribed to us last
Marty
week.
subbed, and then Daniel subbed again.
Oh, really?
Like
Dan listens, by the way. He texted me this week, and he said, "Man, you're really going hard on the Jets." In last week's podcast when I said it's a fluke. And I was like, Dan, I know, but I'm also eating my words right now because you guys are dominating us right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really curious to see if there's actual people. You don't even need to leave a sentence on YouTube. Just a word. Just say hello.
I'm here.
Yeah. I'm really curious if there's seriously someone in Belgium that has downloaded our podcast and listened to it.
All you really need to say is from the great words of Dr. Fraser Crane, I'm listening.
Oh, is that right? No one else gets that reference, man.
All right. I bet Trey's starting to get it.
I think he's going to wait on Tim to see if he actually commits.
I'm sure Trey started watching Frasier.
When I talked to him on Tuesday, he hasn't.
I don't think he will.
Okay.
But who knows? Are you leaving already?
He needs more.
A
He needs more
refill.
liquor.
We are 8 minutes in. You're getting a refill.
Yeah.
It's like water.
It really is.
It goes down like water.
I'm just going to leave the bottle out here.
That's smart. You should. Tim, how was your week, man? I didn't really get to talk to you throughout the week.
It was busy, but in a good way, I guess. I work all week, but I've been going to my parents' house every day because my grandma and my aunt are here from New Jersey for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's been delightful.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
You never realize how much you miss family till you see them.
I know.
And then you get into it, and I just love hanging out with my family.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma's so awesome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my aunt and my girlfriend both got sick this week, so they haven't really been able to do much of this week. But it's been fun just hanging out, going over there every day. So I go to work, and then I go right over there till about 9, 10 o'clock. Then I go home and sleep and do it all over again. Mm-hmm. So
that's adult life now.
But it's been good. Sleep. I'm trying not to focus on just going home after work every day, trying to do things, even if I don't feel like it. So
yeah,
that was that.
Yeah, that's how it goes, man.
And got some Christmas shopping done, I heard.
I only got 3 more people. Well, I wouldn't even say 3 because I already know what I'm going to get my mom. I just have to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really just have
Do you want to give her a hint?
No.
Okay.
Because you know she listens. So
I
I
know,
don't, I don't even want to give a hint.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was hoping you would slip a hint.
No way.
All right. We'll just say this. All of us know what she's getting.
Yeah, of course. Everybody knows.
Yeah. Cool, man.
I want to say what I got Jasmine, but I don't know if she might.
Did you tell me today?
I told you.
I already forgot. What was it? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Oh, right. Oh, I thought, okay. I was thinking of
you
the
got
one.
it.
Okay.
You got it.
It's cool.
Did the gift that you bought Jake that he's hobby adjacent to, in Jesse's words, did that come in?
Yeah, that came in like.
Oh, you didn't send us a picture.
Did you unbox it?
I saw it. Yeah, I left it at my parents though.
It looked good?
Yeah, it looks really good. I like the front.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
I almost just...
You guys will probably see it on Christmas Day or Christmas night or one of the days because we usually get together and I mean we're doing gifts on the podcast, but we might break open some cards or something on the holidays like last year. It will definitely not be as big as last year. I spent like $400 last year.
Dude, I had 278 packs I opened.
It might have been more than $400.
I feel like you spent more than $400.
Yeah, it was probably more,
but we will remember that forever.
Yeah.
That's the point.
I got good cards out of it.
I mean, there's a photo of us hanging in their dining room doing it. Like it's just awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
And my dad even said he would do some more.
I have stuff in the closet ready to open.
So
Specifically set aside for Christmas.
If anything, I'll get something small, just to do it.
Yeah,
something small. What entails small? Like a booster box?
Yeah, single booster, maybe two.
Like 10 packs,
maybe 2,
15 packs, 20 packs.
I'm speaking for Tim though.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy about it. Hash, how was your week?
Well, I'm gonna say that work went, and we're gonna put that over to the side.
Awesome.
It was very busy, but it also dragged a little bit. So glad to see it coming to an end. One of my brothers has had health issues this week, and last week he's been in and out of the hospital. He's in Nashville, so my parents were up there half the week with him. And thankfully, all that he seems to be on the other side of it, slowly getting better. So hopefully that continues. My uncle from Iowa should be getting in right about now. My grandfather is having a stent put in on Monday for an artery blockage that he has. So hopefully that all goes well. But it's been, just like Tim said, I feel like I'm getting up, going to work, and coming home and going to bed and doing it again.
Yeah.
But glad to be here. Glad that we made it. And we're just a mere 3 days from Halloween.
The Halloween episode.
That's right. This
Put
is
in some
Halloween
spooky
episode.
music.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll add it later if I remember.
We'll contact the editor.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a Halloween episode. So I did get us some Halloween treats, but they're in the fridge right now. I'll get them in a little bit.
Yeah, we can get them in a little bit.
Yeah. So let's talk about Halloween for a little bit.
Hold up.
Okay.
How was your week, Jesse?
Oh. For the most part, uneventful.
Tell us about all the adult things you did.
So it was a good week?
It was a good week. I'm trying to be less pessimistic about my work life and just life in general. So nothing went wrong, so it was a good week. Monday night, me and Savannah, we finished House of the Dragon. The season finale came out. Did you see it yet?
I'm 5 episodes behind.
Okay. Ashton hasn't even started, I'm sure. It was very good. I really like it. I think it's good.
Everybody's saying the season finale is like,
Yeah.
it redeemed a lot of stuff.
It's getting higher ratings than Game of Thrones ever did.
Yeah.
Like it's great.
But you have to wait till 2024.
24. Yeah.
2024 for season 2.
Yeah. And right before the episode started, I told Savannah, I said, nothing crazy is going to happen in this episode until the last 2 minutes, and you're going to have to wait 2 years to get that satisfaction. And it ruined it for her. She was like really upset that I said that. But it ended really well, and she's loving it. So that was cool. Tuesday night, we Tuesday, I was off of work, of course. Played. We're gonna gloss over that. Played Overwatch with Trey, which I always look forward to now. What happens is when I get sent home from work Tuesday morning, what I do is I send Trey just the emote with the sunglasses on, and he's smiling, and he goes, "Tell me you're off of work today." so I ended up playing Overwatch. Whatever. So I played Overwatch with him for a little bit.
So on Tuesdays, I guess he's home too for you to play Overwatch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he's usually free in the mornings. So I text him like in the morning.
You know, I'd hate to say it, but I know he's going to listen. Trey, stop playing Overwatch 2 and focus on games that matter. Like RuneScape.
Hey.
Like RuneScape.
We don't need that kind of negativity.
We need you to get that completionist cape.
Come on.
All right?
I don't like that. I'm sure he plays that stuff too. And he only plays Overwatch when friends like text him or message him. He doesn't like ever play it by himself. But still, we played that a good bit, which was awesome. Won a lot. And then really that was about it. Tuesday was like the day I had off, so I got a bunch of stuff done around the house. Chopped a bunch of trees down today. I'm hot.
But you worked today, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I had a really short day.
It's funny because I texted Jesse last night. I said, "Are you going to be home around 3:30?" Hard no. He didn't say anything else. He just said no. And I said, "Oh."
I haven't had a Friday off in months, so I always work on Fridays.
And then I knew the way he was texting me and you today on the chat, I knew he was home.
Oh, yeah. No. I know after 3 or 4 text messages when it doesn't say sent by Siri
Yes.
that he's
Yep.
home. I don't even have to ask him.
I don't like that you guys know me that well.
Well, it's just the way you text.
Yeah.
It's very quick
see that.
and it's not Siri.
You're also more wordy when you're using Siri.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
He's going to try to loophole around it so we don't know.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
But it's
I will
fine.
from now on. Yeah, but today was good.
Today was good, but you left the breakfast in the car.
Oh my gosh, Ashton, I went grocery shopping today. I got us a whole pound of bacon, and I got like a salad for myself, and I left it in my cooler, and then I went to Waffle House on the way home. I just like ate there by myself for like an hour. It was nice. And then by the time I got home, I forgot about it until about an hour ago when we were hanging out with Dan, and I was like, man, I'm like in the mood for some chips. And then it triggered it. I bought chips at the grocery store, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I opened the cooler, and I smelt it immediately. I was like, okay, we're not having breakfast tomorrow. So that's ruined. So we'll have to figure out something to do tomorrow.
Ash, you probably won't see me in the morning, though, because I'm leaving pretty early. I'm going to go to my parents' house, hang out until they leave for the airport. So I'll be out of here by about 8:30. But maybe I'll come by after.
Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
here. We'll be behind the PlayStation.
Just depends how angry you guys are from Overwatch 2.
No.
Won't be angry at all. Nah.
So you brought the PS5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Jess,
you
when
did.
are you upgrading? It's going to happen within a year.
Hey, a week from today.
I've seen pictures online of PlayStation 5s in stores.
Really?
Yep.
I still have yet to see
Yeah,
one.
supply's starting to get better.
I've seen a lot of Series X's, so that's good.
What's in a week from today?
The OLED Switch.
Oh.
Do you have an update?
No.
Okay.
So you're going to go for it still?
Oh, of course. I mean, yes. Yeah. I have a pre-order. We'll see what happens. The thing is, I'm probably going to be working that Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to go after work, I guess, in between that and the podcast. So actually, you guys will find out on the podcast if I actually get one or not.
Okay.
I'm not going for it at all.
Okay.
That's sad.
But you know why.
It's because of the Lego. I know.
Ash, I bought a Lego last week.
I heard.
Can I tell you the story, though, of how it happened?
Please.
Oh, come on.
And I want to see which side you agree on.
Okay. That's fine. Unbiased opinion.
Me and Jesse are in
Hey,
the...
but you need to tell the truth, though.
Yeah.
You don't need to tall tale this.
Okay, me and Jesse are in the backyard throwing the football, right? We're tossing it. We actually have a TV outside. Everybody's on the porch. We're watching NFL. We're grilling. We're throwing the football, drinking. And I'm talking about... What were we talking about Legos for? I don't remember.
I don't know.
But the point is, I said something. I said, I'm going to buy something. And Jesse's like, no, you won't. And then we go back and forth because we do this best friends thing where we go bicker at each other.
Because you know Tim and he doesn't do things.
Jesse's like, you know what? Whatever you buy, I'll match it. Just whatever you buy because I know you're not going to buy anything. So I start browsing and I know exactly what I want. Now, to be fair, I was buzzed and I didn't know I was on the last step of buying it.
I don't believe that.
So I spend $431 on a Lego. And Jesse's like, I'm not doing that. There's no way in hell I could afford that. I'm not doing that. And I keep going back and forth with them. Navarro agreed with me that I was in the right. I just want to know what you think.
Well, if he said it, then he should have done it.
Think about it also. A week earlier, I bought the Disney Castle. I did buy
Navarro
an
said that
Lego.
didn't count because it was before.
So let me use a phrase that I heard
Oh, no.
someone at work use in the last week. His mouth was writing checks that his ass couldn't cash.
There you go. There you go.
It's a set that I've wanted for a while, though. It came out in August, and ever since I found out it released, I wanted it. But, I was
It's
never.
really cool.
I'm going to show you. But I knew exactly. I was like, Jess, you got to spend $400. He's like, there's no way. And I said,
Yeah.
you lied.
Well, yeah. My case is I bought the castle a week prior, and then there's not another set that I want that's $400.
You can get 2 sets.
I'm going to be honest, there's nothing on the Lego website right now that I want to buy.
That's a display piece.
Isn't that great?
Man.
And it opens up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I like how you could fold the insides
Mhm.
back, and it's like a whole closed castle.
Yeah.
20-something minifigs.
Yeah, it's a big set.
It's a classic.
Tim was feeling good.
He was feeling really good. I did not believe one bit he was going to make that purchase. And I'm not upset about it.
I'm not either. Jesse was like, if it was any other set, he said I would have returned it, but he said because it's that set, he's like, I know you're not going to return it.
You have been talking about it since it dropped. Yeah.
So I made that purchase. I did PayPal credit 6 months, no interest, so I can afford not to do it.
Can't afford not to do it. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. You topping us off, Tim?
Something's
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. We're going to be using that in a second.
Okay. All right.
But Ash, how good is this? Like this,
It's actually really
it's
good.
delicious. But it gives you that nice cabin vibe, doesn't it? The trees, the snow.
I like it.
Remind me to talk about Legos before we forget.
Are we talking about? I thought we were talking about Legos now. Either way, I was just saying because I made this purchase, I'm not going to be purchasing the OLED Switch at all. Not even going to try
That's
for
fair
it.
enough.
I'm going to go to work instead of even
That's
wasting
fine.
my time.
That's fine.
Fair enough.
I'm upset about it, but what can you do?
I'm going to pass around a picture.
What
my
is
mom
this?
Just sent.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. He's having a glass of wine.
They're getting toasty.
Oh, man.
Grandma's gone wild.
She picked that. They went to. They took a trip to Savannah Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and she picked it up there. They. A long story, but Monday they had a good time. Tuesday was when my aunt started feeling sick, and then my mom passed out. They had to go to the hospital, so they didn't really have any fun in Savannah on Tuesday or Wednesday. But Monday they had a good time. So. And your mom went too, which I was not aware of until...
Yeah, and she ended up staying till yesterday. Yeah, she stayed a couple days. They even extended it.
Grief.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dudes, they like that place a lot. Which, have you been to Savannah, Ashton?
No.
It's a really awesome place. It's really chill. One of those like old historical towns where you could take like bus tours and stuff. It's really nice. I like it a lot. Me and Savannah went when we were dating. That was like one of our first trips we took. So I liked it a lot, man. I don't know.
Ash, I'm trying... My dad has pointed out so kindly to us that me and you say so a lot.
Yeah, we do.
And he pointed out that Jesse says interesting.
I do
a
that.
lot.
I do that in just everyday
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, so do I.
It's,
And
I don't know why.
I'm trying to But now that he pointed it out, I realize that all three of us, the words that we say a lot.
Well, I will say, I think that considering the almost complete lack of experience we have in doing anything like this, that we don't have those typical issues of or like.
Yeah.
I do know that I say so a lot especially when I'm
Whenever I start talking, I always say that.
running through trains of thought.
Yeah.
It's just my word to.
I don't care though, but it's just I notice it now.
Yeah, once someone points it out, it's almost. I'm not going to name any names, but there's a certain speaker that I know that throughout when he speaks, when he's getting ready to start a sentence, there's one of those.
Oh,
he's like,
oh my goodness, I hate that.
You both know?
Getting his getting his mouth nice and moist to keep talking. I think it's something that happens when folks start getting older, though.
Mm-hmm.
My great grandmother used to do that all the time, and she would tell me that her mouth was dry. So maybe that's a medical issue, or maybe that's an age thing.
I think it's an age thing. I've noticed that in that kind of situation.
Did your dad give any other feedback?
He talked about how Jesse
Here
is
we
a
go.
traitor to Star Wars because
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, well, it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, we talked about how Jesse's starting to dislike Star Wars, or it's turning him off because of all the stuff they're making, and my dad was just not having it.
I wasn't happy about it.
He wasn't having it at all.
I'm not sticking by the.
He said, "You're not a fan."
You're not a loyal fan, Jess.
I never said I didn't like Star Wars. I said
Redeem yourself here. He'll be listening.
I'm not able to because I'm trying to do something at the same time. But I still stand by it. I think there's too much content out there. Some of it is good, some of it is not good.
I do want to start watching Andor. I heard that's really good.
I've heard it's very good also.
Like darker than most.
I don't know how
Star
to
Wars.
AirPlay on my Mac. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm assuming Ashton knows how. No, here's the thing. I haven't seen Andor yet. It just feels like there's too much coming out, and we're not going to get into the weeds here.
Isn't that what you've always wanted, though? More Star Wars content?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Is it just the way they're making stuff, or is it certain stories that you just don't want to watch? That you don't care about? Because I feel like you like Boba Fett, you like Mandalorian, you liked Obi-Wan. Is it just the new Star Wars movies that are turning you off?
Maybe that's what it is.
Because I feel like
7, 8,
all the
9 was
shows
horrible.
you're like, you love.
So far, they're really good. You're right. It just feels like it's a lot, but yeah, you're right.
Actually, now that I
and I
think
don't-
about it, I think you have liked every show. Even
Boba
the Clone
Fett,
Wars show.
I think Boba Fett was not good. I'm going to be honest. It was boring until the last episode.
But didn't it give you like satisfaction with the character
Ash, you're a
development?
saint.
Didn't you
No.
enjoy learning about the character more?
Boba Fett?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
because all you learned was that he lived with oh my god, what are they called? Oh my gosh, they're my favorite character.
Not the Jawas, but the other ones?
Yes, Tusken Raiders.
Tusken Raiders?
That he lived with the Tusken Raiders and taught them how to ride a speeder bike. Did you see it, Tim? So it'll be hard to explain.
The only show I've watched in its complete form is Obi-Wan.
That's good. Did you like it?
Yeah.
I
But
think
everybody
that's the
bashes
best
me
one.
because I can't finish Mandalorian. I haven't even finished season 1.
Yeah, Mandalorian was excellent.
But for some reason Andor I really want to watch.
It's only because I didn't care much about the character, so I don't want to start it. But I'm sure if I start it, I'll like it. But before we move on from Boba Fett, it's like I liked it. I like seeing him, but it was like, did you see him in the suit of armor? He looks fat. Like you're seeing Boba Fett, and he looks, not that the guy isn't fat, but the armor makes him look fat. The armor looks different. It was cool seeing the bounty
It's
hunter.
probably just because you're picturing the original Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but you still gotta.
I mean, did he gain?
You watched the whole
40
show,
pounds?
though. You watched the whole
Whole
show,
thing. Oh yeah.
and you
Mhm.
didn't like it at all.
No, I'm not saying I didn't like it. It was not my favorite. It was, and for the most part, it was boring. It was a lot of backstory backstory you didn't really care about.
So as a huge Star Wars fan like you, it's not worth watching.
I wouldn't watch it again.
I think their characters is better to leave their backstory ambiguous.
Exactly. Like Yoda. You don't know where the heck Yoda came from. And there's been rumors that they're going to come out with like a comic series or whatever about his backstory. And I'm like, don't do it.
But I feel this way with Dumbledore and Harry Potter. Both what's been rumored that they're going to do and then what they've done so far with Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
It's like, I do not need to know Dumbledore's complete life history up to the point to where like his role in Harry Potter saga is the wise old man. Like, don't do anything to go back and mess that up, right?
So
And then, go ahead.
you've seen all the Harry Potters?
Oh, yeah.
You've seen all the Fantastic Beasts?
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen any of the Fantastic Beasts. I've never had a desire to. I've never, like, I'm actually a pretty big Harry Potter fan, but I myself never was interested in watching Fantastic Beasts, and I don't know why. It just never enticed me to watch it.
It's set in 1920s New York, and I like that era just of American history, the style and
The cars on the street.
the hair,
Yeah.
everything. So I really liked it for that aspect of it. The core acting, the core group of actors and actresses, I actually really liked. The main character was quirky in these really good ways that fit his character well, and then the heavyset guy in it, his
really good.
name is actually Lupin.
Is it really?
Yeah,
His first name?
his last name is Lupin.
Wow.
Yep.
Really? The comedian.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up.
But my point is, there's just characters. I think it's better to leave them ambiguous, where you give just enough to
Right.
know, because you could even. I don't know if I want to go this deep. You could even say that it might have been better to leave Darth Vader at episode 4. Darth
That's
Vader.
what I was about to say.
When Darth Vader shows up in episode 4, there's no wondering. I wonder if this guy's just misunderstood, or is this the bad guy? Yeah, you know this man's bad news when
The second that music kicks in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the point I was going to make. You see, and that's what everybody says in episode 2, the I hate sand meme. It's a thing. Like, Darth Vader hates sand. You didn't have to tell us that. Like, he hates sitting on the beach. Okay. Like, we didn't need all that, you know? So that's the point I'm trying to make. I think there's just too much. There's no ambiguity. 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 Tim, can you put some more in there for me? Yeah, there's no more ambiguity anymore.
There you go.
Did I get it?
Yep.
Okay. But okay, so, and I don't want to walk back on what I'm saying because I still feel it's true. And I know he's listening, and I don't want to back off of what I'm trying to say. I love Star Wars. I just think there's too much going on. But I also do think, Tim, you made a good point. 7, 8, and 9 may have put that bad taste in my mouth with Disney, and now
Because
everything that
even
comes
the
out.
spin-offs, Solo and Rogue One were good.
Solo wasn't good.
Rogue One was good.
Rogue One was good. I didn't like Solo.
You didn't
And
like Solo?
I think that's like one of the lowest rated movies.
Oh,
I didn't like it.
I've only seen it
That's
once.
another thing. You didn't need to see that either.
Maybe I just forgot about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we all know why they make it, because of the money.
I know,
They make all
I
this
know.
money. They're going to keep pumping it
You're
out.
right. Yeah, and that's the only
So
reason why.
you're just going to have to deal with it. But I will say, if they keep making episodes, I will never watch them again.
Movies?
Yeah. I've never seen
Although
more.
Taika Waititi's writing one right now.
I've never seen
You
8.
didn't fill this up.
There's plenty in there.
Fine.
I haven't seen 8 or 9 more than once.
No,
At all.
8 is the worst movie ever made.
I haven't seen it. You know when we all saw episode 9?
Mhm.
I've never seen it since.
Yeah. We saw it in the theaters.
Ever. Yeah. That once was good enough for me, Ash.
Yeah, that's fine. 9 was, I like 9.
7 was okay because it took the same stuff from episode 4, and you could tell what they were doing.
Well, dude, it was shot for shot
Yeah.
a remake.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
But I didn't mind it. Like, you didn't like it, but you
I
didn't
didn't
mind
like
it.
it.
You could
'Cause
tolerate it.
You knew every scene what was about to happen.
You could tolerate it, though. Compared to 8
It's
and
tolerable. 8 is horrible. 9's the better of the 3, in my opinion. A lot darker. You don't think so?
9. I didn't like that they brought back Palpatine and all that.
Yeah, but when he was on screen, he was that menacing Palpatine you
They
remembered.
I feel like they didn't know what to do after episode 8, they didn't know
Well,
how
it's
to
because
write it.
directors changed.
I know, and that's another thing.
Ryan Johnson pooped the bed of episode 8, and then J.J. Abrams had to come back and fix what he
Because
did.
all 3 were different, right?
No, J.J. did 7 and 9.
See, why do that?
I know.
Just give him 8.
I know.
It probably would have been better. Whatever
I think
he
it would
would
have
have came
Yeah,
up
because he
with.
would have had an entire arc to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was horrible. He introduced a ton of stupid characters.
And what's
in 8.
worse
Didn't make
is
sense.
younger generation. That's their that's their trilogy.
Like Savannah and Hannah.
God, that's their trilogy.
They love those movies. I know.
And you know what's worse is most people who've seen 7, 8, and 9 have never seen 4, 5, 6, or 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Have they?
Oh yeah, yeah they have.
Do you think
But
they
they
like
started
it
with
because
7.
of Ray?
They started with 7. I think they liked it because it was Disney and it spoke to them. Like, I don't know if it had anything to do with Ray. They Kylo. It's Kylo.
Yeah, Kylo.
They are obsessed
Kylo
with
Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Oh, well,
They don't like the movies. You know, they don't see it as a Star Wars fan. They see it
anything
as,
Kylo Ren, toys, plushies,
Yeah.
anything they're obsessed with.
it's
So, and I know they're not listening, so it doesn't
yeah,
even
it
matter.
doesn't matter.
It does not even
yeah,
matter.
and we don't need to harp on it too long.
Did your dad have any other feedback?
No, they listen to every episode, but they were actually talking about it yesterday. They haven't had time to watch, so they have to binge listen to the last 2 episodes before this one comes out.
When I was
so
there
great.
last week, they were in the kitchen, and I think Mr. Draco was talking about the cabin episode or something, and Aunt Joanne overheard, and she goes, "Did you listen to one without me?"
Yeah, she was getting upset.
Dude, it was like they sit down and watch it together.
That's
It's so funny.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
cool.
Man. I really want to watch anime with your dad one day.
Yeah.
Whenever they actually decide to release the Dirty Pair, we
Freaking
can
Dirty
do it.
Pair, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring it.
He actually has a lot more that he wants to talk to you about, like other animes that he's watched that I don't know if you've seen, but he's talking about, and I'm like, I don't know. It's from the 80s and all that, so
I wonder if he watched Battle of the Planets. When
he
was,
wants to
when he
give
was
you
a kid.
recommendations and stuff.
I'll take it any day.
So, yeah.
All right, listen, guys, let's get back to Legos because I've been harping on this conversation for about a week. So, Lego ideas. Yeah. As long as you can move it so you can hear it. Yeah. I don't care. It's so delicate. So, the Lego Ideas program. Do you guys know about the Lego Ideas program?
Of course.
Do you know the process and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
You
do
don't know.
not.
So we'll fill in Ashton in for the people who are listening in Belgium. So Lego Ideas. It started as a different company that creators could go on the website and send in photos and designs of these Lego sets. They would make their own. They're called Ideas.
Can I just say this whole setup? This is why
it's
you
cool,
got
right?
this.
I know.
For
this is
this.
cool. It's like we're Rogan
You
right
never
now.
knew, but this is why.
I know. We're gonna reformat this entire room for to make a podcast studio.
I feel like I'm in a board meeting at work.
Yeah. So the Lego Ideas program. So long story short, Lego bought this website and started. What they do is people like you and me can design these in a design lab and send it into Lego, they send it into the Lego Ideas website. And if it gets 10,000 supporters or 10,000 people who are like, I want to see this as a set, then it gets sent to Lego for review. So which means they could potentially turn it into a set. So this is just going over like the history of it and everything. This is some of the past Lego Ideas set. Like the Ghostbusters car was designed by just like somebody, and it tells you like who designed it.
Minecraft Micro World.
No, none of those. Yeah, remember the Big Bang Theory I bought you, Tim? I didn't know, but that was an idea set. Wall-E, there's like Saturn stuff, the Flintstones house.
Did you
Speaking of that treehouse, on Amazon, it's $175.
Is that a lot?
Well, it's $250 original.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The ship in the
So-
bottle was one.
Yes, that was one too. So a lot of these sets you didn't even know. The Home Alone set, that Van Gogh one that's really cool,
Seinfeld and The Office.
and
both
The
were.
Office.
Sonic. I need to get that set.
You do. I think it may retire soon. So anyway, so this is the main website. Oh, this is one of them that look at this, man. So this is Where's Wally?
Oh, where's Wally? Wow.
Or Where's Waldo, I guess, where they call it Wally. Yeah, so
I have a question.
mhm.
So to support, do you have to like do something, or you literally just hit support?
that I don't know. I think you just hit support.
So you don't have to pay
It needs
anything, or
I don't think so.
I bet you have to sign in.
You have to make an account, I think. You gotta
Right.
do you
but
can't
there's
just...
no upfront cost, right?
Yeah.
You just hit support.
So what happened was the Office set has been on this website for years, and I followed it on Instagram, and I would do it every time, and it finally got the 10,000 supporters. I think it was like maybe 2 years ago, and eventually turned into a set.
How did that not happen immediately?
I don't know.
They couldn't get 10,000 people for The Office?
Yeah. So basically, this is the home set, the home page.
Look at that Simba and Nala.
Yeah. So I think it's such a cool idea because you get Lego creators, like fans and stuff, involved, and they could potentially design their own set. And then you get 1% of the profits, which I don't know if that's a lot or a little. Who knows?
It could be a lot.
It could be, depending on how popular.
$1 million in sales, it'd be $1,000.
Right. So I just want to show you guys some of the sets that I really like. So this is basically, remember how it was in Pages back in the day? Where's Waldo? So that's how it is. You combine it and make one large set, and then you can set them up by books. So what you do is you get the minifig, and you put it somewhere in the world. So that's just one of them that I thought was super sick. This one I love, the log cabin. I know.
That's a me set. I would buy that 100%.
So what I did was try to take some that both of you guys would like. So that had you written all over it, dude. This one is sick. It's a chess set. It's a tower chess set, and you pull it out, and you unravel it, and it's a chess set.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's got a handle on top. And you build them. You build each one.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thought I was sick. This one's my favorite. Indiana Jones, and it's different scenes from the movie, like a little diorama.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? It's the rock scene, when he's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what can you see it though? Like this one only has 300 supporters. That's not a lot.
But there's 400 days left.
Well, they only have 600 days.
They need 10,000 though.
Yeah,
I know.
odds are that one ain't getting picked up. And I know this sucks for a podcast, but just look it up if you're at home. And this one, Sandlot. I know. How cool is that? No minifigs on it, but I think if they eventually made it, it would get it.
That would actually be hard to make minifigs for that.
Well, it's not to scale, at least, for this one. It would be tough. But, yeah, so I thought that was really cool. But anyway, I mean, there's just so many. And I sent you guys the ones from this past week with, like, the
I actually
shoes
watched
and
that
stuff.
video.
You did?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The Home Alone set that they made was an idea set, too.
Mhm.
So.
And it's cool because they number each one of them. So I think there's 40-something that are out right now. What are they up to? 45. So all of them are numbered, so you could potentially collect them all. It's one of those situations. So, yeah, so these are the ones that just got approved. That actually just got approved recently because that wasn't on this list.
BTS.
Yeah. Yeah. This,
the Orient Express, the train got it?
yeah. Yeah, that guy. Did you see that one? So that's the size of the Hogwarts, basically. But
A
it's
Viking village.
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking about that.
Ooh.
There's a Polaroid camera, which is stupid. So yeah, man. So this you can like scroll through this page and support.
Trojan horse.
Yeah. This one I thought was cool. It's a mechanical clock. It actually works.
Yeah.
You sit on your desk and whatnot. So like I've always known about Lego ideas, but I never knew the history behind the website and stuff.
Right.
So, and I have a couple of them like in my collection that I've always known it was like designed by somebody, I guess, but I didn't know you needed supporters, and then it goes through so what they do is I think something like 30 or 40 per year will get approved and sent to Lego, and then they pick, I think, 5 or 6 maybe. So it's like very, very selective. I guess they go through like, is it realistic? Can you get the IP and whatnot?
I wonder if that Dr. Disrespect Lego I sent you, seems like it's been many months ago now,
Yeah.
if that was maybe one of these idea sets.
I think he just made that. All the research I'd done, I couldn't find anything official about
That's
it.
really disappointing.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's just a Lamborghini. It's a red Lamborghini.
Yeah. Yeah, the licensing is just unfortunate, but it's so difficult to get things like that to happen.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I scrolled through this website for like an hour. on that.
Hold the phone, my man.
I know. I knew.
Peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
Let's scroll up a little bit more. How many supporters does that chess set have?
2,800.
That is.
That's early. It's only 40 days
That
in.
is one of the coolest things I've seen.
Yeah. They have a chess set right now, right?
Yes.
I sent it to you.
You sent it to me. Okay, so
But the fact that it's a tower, that's really cool.
if you could have one thing done like this, what would you do?
Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, one of them, which is an idea set, is Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's see if I can spell right now with this liquid in my body. And I can't. But one of them was the village that got sent for review this past year but did not get approved. And I don't see it on here. Just because I spelt it wrong. I know. I can't talk and spell at the same time. Have you ever tried it before? Okay, it's not there. There's another Peanuts one, though. 2,600. So if I were to...
It's hard to get 10,000 people to support something.
It is, especially, like, I've been a Lego fan my whole life, and I didn't know this website existed.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know.
They don't promote it on the website whatsoever. So it's rare. Dude, this one's already got... Look how much that one has. Although it's almost towards the end, but still. That one looks a little bulky, though. I don't know.
Well, that's not the fun.
Yeah, that's true. So, I don't know, man. What would you want to see?
It would have to be. It would be an IP that I really like, but it would have to be something that would have a good, iconic setting to put it in. You know,
Yeah.
some kind of iconic building like the Batcave or something like that. You know.
Yeah. Oh, they've made a Batcave.
It would have to be, for me, anything Studio Ghibli related.
Yeah.
Because there's so much they could
Hey,
do
What if
with
they
that.
did? What if they did
It's called Ghibli.
the castle?
Hibli.
What if they did the castle in Howl's Moving Castle? The ship.
Look at all these.
There's
Look at that one. Princess
There's a
Mononoke.
wolf.
What a strange one to do, though.
Yeah, they could definitely do the castle.
Yeah.
Or
Like this one?
the
There's the brickheads for it.
the hot spring that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
The hot spring that. What is her name?
Oh, the dragon from Spirited Away. That's
That-
kind of cool.
What's the name of the girl in Spirited Away? Is it Chihiro?
I do
But
not
you know
remember.
the hot springs
Yeah.
that she works
Yeah.
at. That
Yeah.
that building is iconic.
No
there's a-
Face, that whole thing.
There it is. How's Moving Castle?
Oh,
4,000
look how many
supporters.
supporters it has with 400 days left.
That would be such an awkward build. There's no way that's real. How are you going to stand on four legs like that?
They could figure it
They
out.
would figure it out, but
Yeah.
that's like because you know it walks. The castle walks.
Yeah. I've seen the movie. I know.
Hey.
Do you need to see it again?
That's the way you talk about it?
No, I don't. No.
It would be awesome if they did that. Ash, I don't care what the price would be. I would buy that.
Yeah.
You don't care what the price?
No.
Really?
Not on that. That's the man's favorite movie.
Of all time or Ghibli?
It's top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd want to see Ghibli? Because Modern Family.
I want to see any of the, no companies that make collectibles that I like show any love to anime, like the stuff that I like.
Here's one. The scene in Lord of the Rings.
You know they're coming back with Lord of the Rings Lego
They
sets
are.
next year.
They are.
In
Two towers.
the Two Towers, that big fight scene
Yeah.
that happens in that castle at night when the orcs are climbing up ladders.
Mines of Moria?
Possibly.
You know what's crazy about Lord of the Rings is there's so many Lord of the Rings Lego supporters that I'm surprised all of the ideas don't get supported.
Yeah.
Look at the Hobbit bookends there.
That's actually a really cool
That's
idea.
a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah, Lego Lord of the Rings Legos were huge. The fight, what's the big fight that happens in episode 3 of the movie 3, I think? That one is like a super expensive set right now.
Gondor,
Gondor.
isn't it?
Is it?
I
Is
think
it?
so.
I don't remember. Yeah. I think it's called Battle of Middle-earth or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay,
But,
we
yeah, Lord of the
don't
Rings, cool.
need to do this much
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah, that's true. So that's what I just wanted to go over, all those ideas. I think man, I'm really into it now. I may have to make an account and start supporting some people. The one of them was the ones that got selected. I don't think it was these, but anyway. Yeah, it's super cool.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, I like Legos. I'm kind of obsessed with them at this point.
You got a whole wall behind us of Legos that you haven't built.
Yeah,
We
Yeah,
talk
I know.
about it over and over again, but
Well, I don't have room right now.
I know you don't have room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Air
Also,
quotes.
Tim, I discovered this website. It's called brickset.com. Have you heard of them?
Yes.
Oh,
But what do you have to say about it?
I didn't know about it.
Oh.
That this website, Ashton, you can log all of your sets, and it basically tells you what it's worth, what you bought it for, stuff like that. It's one of those like TCG player type
Okay.
websites. So I'm going to start keeping track of what I got.
And it's a lot.
It's not that much.
The man's got a portfolio. Halloween's Monday.
Oh, yeah, Halloween. So I totally forgot we were talking about Halloween.
How could
Ashton-
you forget with
I
that
know.
festive shirt he's got
Ashton,
on?
you have a festive shirt going, and I hope people see it in the thumbnail.
Do you like it?
I love it. I love that it's not even half buttoned. It's probably like 1/3 buttoned. I'm a fan.
It's
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah, you're enjoying the weekend. That's what it is.
I try to find a good horror T-shirt that I could wear for this episode, but I really couldn't find one that I liked.
Yeah. You like to buy or
Yeah, to wear on the
Oh, okay.
podcast. But
Yeah, I have one, but it's really small, and it's just,
I've got another Halloween shirt I'm going to wear tomorrow that I actually bought at AWA when we all went in 2019, which
Yeah.
that's going on this weekend.
Yeah, it is.
As we speak,
Yeah.
the nerds are downtown.
are you sad about it?
Yeah.
I would like to be there, but they're continuing to act like dummies. So the leadership, at least, maybe next year. But
But on the bright side, at least it saves you some money.
He doesn't
no,
care about that.
No,
He wants
I've,
to spend
I've
some
got
money.
I've got a ticket that has now rolled over for 2 years.
Now, can you still decline to go and still keep the ticket? Like now that it's up, can you?
Yes,
Can
it's
you do
supposed
that?
to be where if you don't when you go, you have to register at the front desk, and they can pull up that you've already paid. So if you don't ever register, it's supposed to roll over to the next year.
Okay, that ain't bad. We'll talk about Halloween eventually. Did you ever celebrate Halloween growing up?
Oh yeah.
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 Like trick or treated?
Yeah, Tanner and I both trick-or-treated a lot. We went to Party City and would get those cheap costumes and
Dang, really?
Power Rangers, Spider-Man, Batman. I feel like Tanner was an Indian one year.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually lived in a neighborhood up until we were in... I think we left in 2004, so up until I was about 10, we lived in a neighborhood, and people would sit out on their porches and have candy, and
Wow.
there was one house, this lady made these popcorn balls. Man, talk
Mhm.
about blowing your socks off. I looked forward to those every year.
Mm-hmm. Man, I never had that experience. That whole neighborhood, it's like you see them in TV shows and movies, but I never experienced it.
Yeah, it was great. Great memories. And my mom and dad would both walk with us, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't have any kind of movie attachment with Halloween until I saw Charlie Brown, and that was at People's some point probably in middle school. So I'm curious if y'all had Halloween movies as a kid.
So do you think of that more than a Thanksgiving movie?
What's that?
The Great Pumpkin?
Yeah, there's a Thanksgiving episode of Charlie Brown.
Is The Great Pumpkin an episode or a movie?
Well, I mean, they're all 30 minutes
Oh, really?
long. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I never watched it.
The Christmas one might be a little bit longer. It's definitely under an hour, but there's the Great Pumpkin, the Thanksgiving episode, and then the Christmas episode. Those are the three.
okay.
The three big.
So Great Pumpkin is Halloween.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Which is probably that iconic photo of he's got like the sheet on
The
with
bed
the whole
sheet.
photo. Yeah.
Poor-
Okay.
Poor Chuck.
So that's from that. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. As far as movies, growing up, it was Halloween Town. Do you remember those movies on Disney Channel?
I've never liked those movies.
Really?
I don't know. I've watched them. I've just never liked them.
I can't watch them now. when they came out as a kid. I look forward to it every year.
Yeah.
I tried watching it once. It's
They
of its time.
They don't age well.
They don't age well. But for those like off of like Disney Channel, I would watch. And then once I got older, I didn't really watch like typical Halloween movies.
You know, now that I think about it, there was a Scooby-Doo Halloween episode. Tim, did you watch Scooby-Doo?
Yes, I did.
Was there a Halloween episode or a movie?
There was definitely movies. I associate one of the movies with Halloween. It's Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island.
Zombie Island.
Did I just unlock a memory for you?
Oh, my. There was Zombie Island and The Witch's Ghost. I think those
Yes.
were the two that I watched.
Yeah.
I had both of them on VHS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, VHS.
Back when you had to rewind after you finished watching.
That's right. That's right.
Unless you were a jerk.
So as far as like when I got older watching Halloween movies, the only one I really gravitated towards was, well, for one, Meet Frankenstein, and then like The Mummy. Those I would like watch kind of on rotation around that time of year. But as far as like the horror movies, I was never big into those. I never watched like the Halloween or Freddy and Jason, all that stuff. I watched them all once. If I were to pick a favorite, it would probably be Freddy Krueger. But other than that, I was never big into those. I was never a big fan of those Halloween movies.
I don't know. Like, when I was younger, I didn't really have any Halloween movies I watched. But as I got older, for some reason, like in middle school and high school, certain movies, like I remember my dad in the living room one year had Carrie on, the old Carrie. And ever since I watched it on Halloween night, I associated with it, so I watch it from time to time. It feels like Halloween when I watch it.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never seen it.
Are you sure?
100%.
The iconic scene when the blood gets...
I know the scene.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they even made a remake of it.
Yeah. I've never seen the remake, but the original...
Yeah.
I was always so scared to death of that mother. But I would say... not Nightmare Before Christmas, for those who think it's a Halloween movie. Hocus Pocus, Carrie, the original Halloween.
I'll catch flack for this. I don't like Hocus Pocus.
It's a classic.
It's not.
It is. It's such a classic that they had to remake another one.
Okay. All right. Relax.
How many years
That
was
doesn't
it?
make
30
it a
years
classic.
later?
They remade Ghostbusters. That
Ghostbusters is a classic. What do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm out of here. No, it doesn't mean it's a classic. I don't like it. It's not even that old. That's the thing. Is it a classic? What makes a movie a classic?
I think it's 30 years old.
No, what came out when we were kids?
It's either 25 or 30th anniversary.
If only I had a laptop right in front of me that I could figure it out.
Either way, I love Hocus Pocus. I've seen it 1,000 times. Got the Steelbook.
Okay, we were not alive. You were alive. 93.
I was not alive.
Really?
I'm 94, man.
Yeah, I'm
You're
94
too? We were not alive. And it came out in July. Interesting.
Okay.
I think it's a great movie. It still holds up to this day when I watch it.
Sure.
So
yeah.
neither of you trick-or-treated as kids?
I don't think I trick-or-treated once in my life.
I
Really?
trick-or-treated in middle school and high school with my neighborhood friends. After trunk-or-treat, because they did trunk-or-treat so early at church, I would go home and I would trick-or-treat with my friends.
Double up on candy?
Yeah, double up. I never dressed up, but I would trick-or-treat.
Yeah. I don't remember ever doing it in Jersey. I don't think we ever did. We lived on a cul-de-sac street. There was only 4 houses. And that's the other thing. So when I was in Jersey, I didn't have a neighborhood. And when we moved here, everyone in this neighborhood's old and retired. Not old, but they're, retired older people. So they just didn't, I guess they never did it. I don't know. But I've lived in this house for almost 3 years. We've never had anybody come to our door.
Unreal.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those neighborhoods that doesn't. There's no kids.
Do you
that
think
live
it's
here.
also like the time we live in now where people don't go door to door anymore and trick or treat?
Maybe?
I think that does have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even when I moved here,
Really?
we never. I mean, I don't remember ever having like my mom going to the door and handing out candy. I don't ever remember. We always had a bowl just in case, but we never had anybody come.
We had a lot of kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of younger kids in your neighborhood.
We
so-
had a lot growing up.
Yeah.
A lot of kids in
Yeah.
our neighborhood, but we had a ton of people trick or treat.
I might have gone to your neighborhood one year.
Maybe you did.
I remember walking around with Marshall and Zach and
Yeah.
everybody.
You might have done it once or twice.
Yeah.
You had a good neighborhood to do that in.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect circle. Make the lap and you're
Not
good.
only that, but we had so many kids. Like
lot of houses.
everybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Yeah, I never did it.
I liked it because we didn't even have to really trick or treat. We would just go to our friend's house, and their parents would always have all the candy, so we would just take whatever
Yeah.
we wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I never did it, man. I don't think I trick or treated once in my life.
Man, that's sad.
Besides maybe that.
What a sad thing.
And it's weird. I don't feel like I missed out on it.
Well, you don't know what you missed out on.
Yeah, that's true.
The man who loves candy.
Well, I never but I never liked dressing up. I don't want to work
Yeah.
for my candy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I never liked dressing up. Even now, I don't like it.
Mm.
I never really got into that.
You just do it from time to time.
What?
Dress up. Only because you have to.
I
Sometimes.
dress up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a sacrifice you make, Tim, for the ones you love.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she'll have this dress up. We do like Halloween parties here, and like some people will dress up. Mostly all the girls dress up.
Speaking of, we're not doing one this year.
No. We would have been doing it
Right
tomorrow
now
night.
or tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah. We were gonna, but Savannah went to Florida to go to Disney, and I did not want to host it myself. So, which would have ended up just being me, you, Tim, Navarro, Dan.
But that's
Just
always a
hanging
good
out.
time when everybody gets together.
It is.
I always
is.
miss hanging out with Navarro and
We did it last month.
David
though.
and Blanca.
didn't- Yeah. Yeah. They always
Um,
dress up too. They go all out, and
Yeah.
they're always the life of the party too, man. They're fun. That game we played last time was actually really fun. You didn't really contribute, did you?
No.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Halloween, man. It's never been one of those holidays I look forward to. I always like it. I liked it as an adult because a bunch of our friends got together and we just have like a party at the house, you know.
I liked it because you knew the very next day Thanksgiving is around the corner.
That's right. November 1st. Yeah.
Speaking of, though, I can't believe next week is November. As we get older, the time just flies by.
Dude, you ain't
Don't
kidding.
have to tell me.
Yeah.
We're all going to be in our 30s soon, and that's
Shh.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Would you so like hypothetically, you have kids, they're starting to grow up. What do you dress them in for their first time?
very first time.
Very first time. If they're not like, hey, I want to dress up as a Power Ranger or a pirate.
I think I go the generic route and do Pokemon.
Is that generic?
I think it is.
That's not even close to generic. I've never seen a Pokemon. Like dress them up as a Pokemon
Yeah.
or like Ash.
like you know the people who do the parents are the trainers and they're the Pokemon. You know.
Why are you shaking your head? I've
seen
never seen that before. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. You know, I'm gonna be saying it a lot now because you pointed it out. I've never seen that. Really? How do you dress up a kid as a Pokemon? You paint their face or something?
I see
They have-
babies.
They have costumes for little
babies
kids.
and toddlers.
Really?
It's almost like a onesie, and it's got a
Yeah.
little hood that they put
Oh,
on,
yeah.
like a little
okay.
Charizard or
and then
something.
I
and then
get
the
that.
parents dress up as the trainers.
Yep.
You know.
Interesting.
Okay.
It's my baby Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's they're little kids, so you don't have to go like all out. But you could find Pokemon outfits easier than most other things.
Yeah.
I could totally see Zach doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that too. What about you? Would you dress up your kids as something?
Are we talking about them being too young to choose something for themselves?
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Tim's Pokemon idea. That or Yeah, I'd probably do Pokemon too.
Yeah. Speaking of, I can't wait for the day like the original Pokemon TV show showing like our kids that one.
Yeah.
Not the new stuff, just the original Indigo. That's
Yeah.
going to be a good time because I'm even going to enjoy that again.
I watched it again last year.
I like rewatching it.
The old Indigo League.
Yeah.
I watched it again when we were playing Diamond and Pearl.
Yep.
I got right back into it.
I've got it on Blu-ray.
It's crazy how many episodes there actually are of that.
Way more than you remember.
You remember, like, you don't remember, like, being that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very popular.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm done talking about Halloween. I don't have anything else to talk about.
You didn't say what you would dress up your kids as.
Oh. It'd probably be a Jawa.
He who is the closest to
Yeah, he's
having
the closest
kids.
one.
Easy. I don't know about that. I think Tim's closer.
neither of us are married.
I don't care. I still
He
in my mind I always thought Tim was gonna have a kid before me.
thinks I'm going to have a kid before him. Ash.
Why?
I don't know. Because I'm waiting for so long. I don't know. I keep pushing it off.
Do you think I'm going to screw up as something? Is that why you
I
say
think you're
it?
gonna be married soon, and I think
You think I'm going to slip up before you? Is that
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
Oh.
I think so. Yeah. I've said
way.
it since I started dating. I was like, you guys are gonna have a kid before me.
In the hospital when his baby's born, I'm going to be like, you're going to have a kid.
You shut up. Are you gonna be there when my baby's born?
Yeah.
You hesitated. I don't like that.
No, I was just thinking in my head, like, I'll be there when it's born.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't believe you. You hesitated. Ash, you gonna be there when my baby's born? You hesitated.
I had a mouthful of drink. As long as Savannah's okay with it.
I don't care.
That doesn't matter, though. Your opinion doesn't matter.
Argue. I mean, I think it would. I'm gonna be like, hey, I know our baby was just born, but Tim and Ash are right outside.
They're just dying to come in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
man.
excited for that experience.
All right.
You think so?
Just the whole, like, our friend group having its first baby in the
Mm.
group.
You think it'll be me?
Well,
Lucy Navarro have been married longer than me.
yeah, but that's not the
I don't think-
podcast.
I don't think they...
Then there's just three of us.
I
And
don't-
obviously it'll be me.
I've never heard
That's
them
what
once
we're
talk
talking about.
kid. I think...
He said friend group. Our friend group
I
is
said
not us
friend
two.
group. That's
Oh.
true.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be you 100%.
Why?
I still think you're going to announce you're pregnant before the end of the year.
No,
I've said
no,
that.
No. Because I would know by now, and we're not pregnant.
You could still announce that you're pregnant at the end of the year.
No, because you're not supposed to announce it until 3 months. Why would I know that?
What, are you planning around it or something?
No, I'm saying if by 3 months it's going to be January.
I swear, if you announce it in January just to prove me wrong,
Wait 4 months?
just do it then.
No. We're not pregnant. I got to go to Europe first. Stupid.
No, you always say you want to get pregnant so you don't have to go to
Yeah.
Europe.
I'm not saying I don't want to be pregnant right now. I'm saying we're not. Let's not talk about this anymore. This is boring.
You're right. We just keep... Okay, we can keep going. What are we on next to?
What do you even want to talk about? I'm kind of feeling in a real relaxed mood tonight. You know?
Well, you've had a lot to drink over there.
Yeah,
I haven't had
enough.
I haven't yet. I need more ice though.
I don't think we have enough in here.
You've had over 2 drinks.
I've had 3
Wait.
or 4.
Don't waste
It's
your drink
cold.
on me though.
It's cold.
No, but don't waste it on me is what I'm saying.
I have other stuff I can drink.
Thank you, Ash. Wait. Oh, you're not going to drink it? Wow. Wait. All right. Yeah, I was going to say it's one of those weeks where Ashton just needs a couple beers. I feel like all week I was thinking about the podcast tonight, and I was like picturing how I'm going to sit. I just want to relax tonight.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. I just feel like I don't even care if we like go on. Oh, we're already done with that drink. I don't even care if we go through topics and stuff. You guys run it. I'm going to relax tonight.
I told you it was only 15%.
Yeah. I don't taste it. So that's good. It's whiskey, right? Is it? No, it's cider.
Jack Daniels. It's whiskey.
It's
Is it
cider.
whiskey?
I
It's
mean-
cider. I wouldn't consider that whiskey because I like it. So it's not whiskey.
Well, we got some whiskey shots lined up later on.
Oh, I forgot about that. Ash, what do you want to talk about? You run the show. I'm tired. Looked at you.
Well, put some pep in your step.
When we before the whole day,
I was working
the whole
hard
day.
today.
He was like, I don't want to drink an energy drink this late. I'm gonna be up all night. And
I should've.
then after he was done working, he's like, maybe I do need one of those energy drinks. Which there's one in your fridge.
I don't want to drink your last one. So that's why
I have one at
haven't.
the house.
I'll drink it if you want me to drink it.
I want you both to try it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
festive.
Then get it. I'll drink it.
All
I'm
right.
thirsty. I was working a lot today, Ash. I cut down 3 trees. Yeah. I cleared out your parking spot.
Alani.
Alani, is that what it is? I thought it was Aloha. Are you telling me? Is serious?
Yeah. You want me to pour some in there just so you try it a little sip?
Yeah.
Tim's pouring Ashton a little beverage. He hasn't stopped him yet. You want more?
You want more?
No, that's good.
So what is this? Witch's Brew? Is that what it's called?
Caramel apple. It's Halloween themed.
Thank you, Uncle Ed, for the Witch's Brew.
Yeah,
I know he
it's
picked
hard
it up
to
for
find.
us.
You can't find it anywhere.
Listen, he has so many hookups through CVS. It's awesome.
I know.
It's awesome. Alani Energy. What flavor is it? Candy apple, that it looks
Mhm.
like? All right.
It's good.
Ooh, that's very good.
Yeah.
I may need to talk to him about getting me some of these. This is amazing.
It's holiday. It's not out all year.
Yeah, it's holiday.
It's not out all year.
You want to put a... Can we put a shot in there? That's delicious, man. Ash, do you try this yet? And he's trying it as we speak.
You take such tiny sips, Ash.
Yeah, he's focusing on it. That's what he's doing. Thinking about it. Aftertaste.
Is this alcoholic?
No. That's why. Look at him. He's sipping. Oh, my gosh. You don't really taste it until you swallow it. It's like an aftertaste, the candy apple.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Stamp of approval.
I have one at the house. I only brought 2 out of 3, so you can have that one.
We'll be up all night anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
He only got 24 of those out of his whole shipment, and he bought 4 of them.
That's very good.
So.
Cool.
Actually, Louis came in and bought one of those because he found out my dad got
Uncle
them.
Louis?
No.
Or Louis? Oh, okay.
Louis.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Cool. What do you want to talk about?
Listen. Twitter has a new owner, a new chief twit.
We're getting into the hot button topics real fast.
I don't know how hot button it is.
Well, people seem to be upset about it.
I think it's awesome.
Only a certain
Yeah,
a certain group of people.
We love it.
It's just everybody's so sick of like,
I love to hear your dad's opinion on it. Does he have an opinion on Elon?
I don't know.
Should we text him? Oh, let's text him. It's like meta. He's going to be like, oh my gosh, they're texting me right now. Oh, that's cool.
I would say people need to stop getting so butthurt over feelings that they really don't care about at all. They just want attention.
How do you feel about Elon? He
And
probably doesn't even care about Twitter, your dad. He ain't even going to. Oh, but he knows stuff.
it's a private company now, so they're not public. So, in other words, Elon can do whatever he wants, tweet whatever they want, and no one can say anything about it.
Yep.
At all.
He has green.
Yeah. Which is just beautiful, though. Like, if you really think about it, like how many...
It's freedom of speech.
Yeah, how many people got their tweets or they got suspended or banned off Twitter because they said something that wasn't even really bad, but it wasn't politically correct? Which I'm sick of.
Why did Trump ever get banned?
Giving false information, apparently.
Was it false, though?
I think the straw was that January 6th riot.
He didn't necessarily say, don't do this.
Right. I think
remember that.
they accused him of using that as a way
Fuel
to
to the
stir up all that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I got you. Yeah, so Elon bought Twitter finally. So is it still in an approval process or is it done?
No, it's done.
He cashed a check.
The man spent $44 billion.
He walked in today and basically told the leadership to get the hell out.
Wow.
which I love.
So yeah, it's great.
I'm a fan.
So none of us are on Twitter, right?
No, I'm on
No.
there.
You're on there?
Yes, but it's like one of those deals where you have an account to just keep up with other accounts. I don't tweet anything.
Yeah. So Mr. Dragon said, "Great, glad to see it go private. He can change it. He can change it for freedom's sake."
Yeah.
Which is pretty much exactly what we said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So this is what I'm saying. He's got an opinion on everything. He knows everything. I love it. I like it, and I'm not even on Twitter, but I like Elon, and I like he's so clear in what he wants to do. You know, he's not one of those like billionaires that is hiding his agenda. It seems like he
Because
seems like a
he doesn't
decent
give a
person.
damn.
Yeah, but why?
I think he's sick of like how every other rich person acts. He's a good guy.
I love to see a
He's not-
documentary on this guy.
He's not fake. That's the
No,
that's,
yeah, and that's what I'm
that's the
saying.
thing.
Why-
That's a very
why?
good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yep. He's pretty genuine.
Like he isn't afraid to say something if it gets him to lose popularity or
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
He'll say it regardless.
He doesn't fall into a lot of the tropes that billionaires typically do, you know?
Yeah, that's why it's so weird to see, and that's why I think people don't like it.
Most of the time he's in black jeans and a black t-shirt
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
similar to that. He's not flashy at all.
And he's on TV shows, like he was on Jay Leno's Garage a couple of times. He's on podcasts, like
He's on podcasts a lot.
yeah.
He acts like a normal person.
That's
and
the thing.
he's-
I think people are almost suspicious of that. It seems like
Our generation loves him. Like he's golden.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of that is because of how much he enjoys memes. Half of him is just goofy
Yeah.
jokester, and then the other half is the super serious genius.
yeah,
It's and that may be what makes him so interesting. But he has that mystique about him, where I think there is part of you that says, "What really is this guy's deal?" Because he's doing Tesla, he's doing SpaceX. Now he's got Twitter, his boring company
What's
that
next?
he does all of his weird things.
Maybe
through.
we can get him to buy Twitch.
Phew, he can save that next. Listen,
is
He-
it? Can you even save it at this point?
I don't know. One of the funny things that he did recently with the boring company is he released perfume, and it smells like burnt hair.
Why? That's disgusting.
Exactly.
Just to
Do
do
you
it,
know how many
it's
thousands?
gonna
of,
sell out.
how many
and
thousands of bottles he sold?
I bet it sold out in like a
He
minute.
said in one of his tweets, "Buy my perfume so I can buy Twitter."
And that's what's so cool about him. He's so real, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious, man. I like him a lot. I don't know anything about him, but I like him a lot because he is like a genuine person. He's also a freaking cajillionaire.
You know, if you take Zuckerberg, Bezos, Buffett, even Trump, they have this disconnection element to them where when you get to that level of money, you just really live in a different world.
Mm-hmm.
And Elon seems like someone you could have a beer with and it not be strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost like you would run into him at a bar.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever buy a Tesla?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, my boss has got one. I like them. Yeah,
Which model?
probably just the basic 3, or maybe get one of the fancier ones. But
The X.
the
That's my
X,
favorite.
yeah.
Which one's that? The SUV one?
Mm-hmm.
Or the crossover, whatever?
Yeah.
But if I had to choose between a Type R and a Tesla, right now I would take the Type R.
Honestly, I'm kind of over like a year or two ago. I would say electric, like Tesla, but I'm kind of over the electric fate.
I am
like,
too.
I rather just like keep a vehicle that runs on gas. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I would ever buy one. Although the new Challengers look really cool.
I saw a nice baby blue Mach-E today.
I love the Mach-E's.
It looked really good.
There's an orange one that drives around McDonough, and I love seeing it.
When I was in traffic yesterday, there was one of those Mustang SUVs,
That's the Maki.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one was powder blue or something
Might
like
have been
that.
the same one I saw
Yeah.
today.
Is it the grabber blue, like the baby blue?
It's like
Yep,
it's
yep.
a little baby blue.
Yeah, so that and maybe I don't know if they still use the term grabber blue. That's like the paint code or whatever
like
it's
the
called.
white, the all white, the orange, and the blue are my 3 favorite. Like those 3, like I prefer those over the black and all
Yeah,
that.
I'd probably do the blue also.
This one had a drive out tag on it.
What's that?
I don't know.
Like brand new?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dealership tag on it.
Yeah.
So are those actually at the Ford dealership, or do you have to
Yeah.
order those?
When I was in Jersey last year, they had a whole line of them.
Oh, on the lot?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I did not know they were online. I thought you had to like actually order it because I thought they were back ordered. But
This was before COVID
it might have been
when I saw them.
Like it might have been each their own because it might be different in New Jersey than it is here.
Yeah, maybe.
But there are actually quite a few.
Yeah.
Like I see some regularly.
Yeah. And I don't know if they're affordable or not. I don't know the price range.
No.
But
I doubt it.
They're
Yeah.
not. And actually, I heard they're actually pretty bad. Like the base model, like you don't get any mileage.
Yeah. I'm sure any electric car that's not a Tesla is still working out their kinks.
You have to pay up to get like good
Yeah.
mileage on it.
Yeah.
In the electric truck that Ford or one of them's putting out,
Rivian?
it's 100,000 or
Are you talking about Rivian?
close
company?
to that.
The truck company?
That
I
one's
don't-
been out for a while though.
Okay.
Not a while, but
But yeah, a lot of those are like starting at like 80,
100
90,000.
grand.
Yeah.
And it's just a pickup truck.
yeah. Yeah. What is this
So-
about the frozen door handles you have here?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of comical, but they also fixed it with a software update, which is so
Isn't that weird?
cool.
Yeah.
Man, that is so cool. So Teslas don't have physical door handles.
Mhm.
And up north,
Well, they do. Well, it like pops out and then you open it.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Not
not,
like it's sticking out.
there's
You're
no
right.
jutting
Right.
appendage on the door. So up north where it gets really cold, the door handles were freezing. And then the windows were freezing, and something with where you plug the battery charger into, the port was freezing up or something.
How do you update?
Literally a software update, and it fixed it.
How?
Exactly.
It's still frozen.
But really, Tesla's just a giant computer on wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Like
It's a robot.
And yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't get how a software update can fix frozen water on top of a handle. I don't get it.
Well, I don't know if I'm sure that having physical ice on it would do that, but I think it was also, it got so cold that the door, just the temperature was freezing the
Yeah.
components.
Oh, okay.
So somehow the software update was
Nah, we took
making
care
it
of
where,
We patched it.
yeah, we patched it. Your door should open now.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced that when a door was completely frozen and you had to like jerk it open?
There's been a couple of times that's happened to me here.
Yeah.
Where I've gone to get in my car and I've had to,
Yeah.
you can feel it.
You gotta squat a little bit.
Yeah, you can feel it break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes me nervous.
I remember how normal that was up in Jersey when it was snowing. That was like you
Yeah.
knew you had to jerk it open like that.
I will say I don't know what you did with Ellie, but I don't see her out there.
She's probably in one of the guest rooms.
No, I checked all the
So you've looked through the whole house and she's not here.
She's somewhere.
unless she's in a closet. I didn't check the closet.
She could be in my closet.
In your room.
Did you go in my room?
I just turned on the light. Didn't see her on the floor. Walked
She
out.
could be on the other side of the bed.
Could
She goes
be.
over there sometimes. I mean, she didn't go anywhere. I don't know why I'm worried. Yeah, she does that lately. She'll, like, if I'm in here and the door shut, she'll just find another room to go to. She's an odd cat.
So that was all I had on the frozen door handles. I thought that was
Yeah,
that was
that's
kind of
funny.
comical.
I took my Mustang out today. The old Mustang for the first time in a while.
How's she do?
She is gorgeous. Which I think we should take her tomorrow morning
Mm-hmm.
to go get some local coffee.
Jess, I love the way you think. Tell the people what ride you've got.
Oh, the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 1972 Mach 1 Mustang.
Folks, if you're wondering what Brown can do for you,
And that's not his daily driver. That's just a weekend car. He has another Mustang. He's got 2 Mustangs.
Dude. Oh, man. So this is going to lead into a different story, but I'll try not to deviate. So Tracy Poston came over today to give us an estimate on the siding. And I was in the driveway fixing one of the speakers in the old Mustang. And he pulls up. He goes, "What you working on?" You know, as he's walking up. And I was like, "Oh, I got this old, Mustang. I'm just tweaking to it." And he goes, "So do you drive this?" And I was like, "I'm like on weekends and stuff." And he goes, "So what do you take to work? This one?" And pointing at the other ones. He goes, "So you have 2 Mustangs." He goes, "You have 2 Mustangs. You take one to work and one around town." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I was like, "Look who my dad is. Like, do you expect anything different?" He just couldn't believe it. So he
I just
ended up
think we
looking at
can't
for a
believe it
while.
because you're so young to have 2 cars.
Yeah. I never. Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
It is, but if you really think about it, like, the old Mustang is not cheap, but you just had it worked out to where you had something else to sell.
I bought up and I
But-
made money off of a motorcycle.
But most people wouldn't be able to do that.
yeah,
So it's cool.
and I also I got lucky because my dad gave it to me for what he paid for it.
Right.
Like it's a much more expensive car than what he
Yeah.
got it for, but he saw how much I loved it,
Yeah.
sold it to me, and even I text him every time I get in that car and say thank you. I love that car.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I forget. Like I'm trying to think of other stuff around the house, and I'm like, I have a lot of I like Legos, I like guitars and stuff. And growing up, I was always watching my dad buying and selling cars, and I always thought like, man, it'd be cool to have another car, like an old car. And then sometimes I forget until I walk in the garage. I'm like, I have this old car, all original 70s Mustang. Like it's super cool, man. So it's nice when I forget about it for a while, and then I take it out on the weekend, and I like you have your arm out of the window, you're shifting, like it's just cool.
Smoking a cigar?
I haven't done that yet. I don't know if I want to.
Me and
do
you've
that.
done that.
Not in the car.
Yeah.
We weren't driving with
Yeah.
it. No, we didn't.
We were in the neighborhood, and then we went to the square, right?
No, we've never. No, we haven't.
We were in the neighborhood 100%.
No,
We smoked in it.
we did not. We sat in it at the garage and smoked a little bit. We never took it out on the road and smoked a cigar.
In the neighborhood.
We haven't done it. Tim, I would remember because I would have
We
christened
did.
it. We didn't.
I said, man, isn't this a smoking car? It takes you back.
we weren't smoking a cigar.
We smoked a cigar.
No,
Not out of the neighborhood, but we were in the neighborhood. We drove it up and down the street.
No.
How could you not remember this?
We weren't smoking a cigar in the car. I would have remembered that because I'm
I
still on the
think-
fence, and if I want to do
I
it.
think my mom even took a picture, or your dad.
If they did, we were sitting in the back, and it was parked back there, and we sat in it smoking a
Coming
cigar.
back.
No.
Ashton,
Text her.
I remember this like
Text her
it
now.
was yesterday. We were smoking in the car driving
We
in the
weren't-
neighborhood.
We weren't driving.
It makes me so angry when he forgets things. I know he forgets a lot
I forget
because he's
everything.
old as shat, but I swear to God, Ash, we were
I don't think
driving
so.
in the neighborhood.
I don't think I would have remembered that because I'm still on the fence on if I want to smoke a cigar in the car or not. I'm telling you, I'm on the fence. And that's all I have to say about it. I love the car.
I'm not saying anything else.
I love the car. That's all I want to say. So yeah, I took it out, and I think we should take it out tomorrow morning. Maybe get some holy donuts.
I'm not eating donuts.
Oh, come on. I forgot. You're not eating donuts. My Savannah has some wheat thins in the cabinet.
Jess, text your dad and ask him to send you a picture of us smoking.
He
in the
doesn't
car.
have...
I think him or my dad would have.
I don't believe
photo.
it. I don't believe it. Do you want me to really text him right
Yes.
now and figure it out?
Yes, because your dad takes pictures of everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I'm going to do it, but it didn't happen. How about you talk while I'm doing something? Because we're not going to be quiet for 30 seconds while I figure out how to text.
Angry.
You-
He doesn't remember
relax.
memories, Ash.
Yeah, sweet memories.
Good memories.
Which is why I'm writing every day.
Do you
But
still?
and I would have wrote it. Oh yeah, every day. Do you know the first entry?
What?
The cabin
The
trip.
cabin?
January something.
20.
Our first one.
20 or 20?
No, last year. Yeah, that's when I started because I didn't want to
So
forget it.
you already booked this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What week is it?
The same one we've talked about.
So you did it at the end of February.
Yes, last weekend.
All right.
It's already booked. Yeah. You never answered me when I said first weekend of March.
You're right. I didn't.
I knew you did. I knew you looked at it.
23rd to the 26th.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's not about me. It's about if Jake and Jasmine can get all their crap out of the apartment.
Why do you have to worry about that?
Because I'm the main person, so I have to go through the walkthrough when they
Here's the
check the
thing.
apartment.
We're not going to get angry here. We're all friends. When's your lease date up?
The last day in February.
So you have to be out in February.
Yes.
So you have all month to figure it out.
I'm saying I'm good in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Jake and Jasmine.
Do you really think Jake and Jasmine would put your name and your credit on the line? You know?
I'm saying they would probably wait till the last minute.
Well, then it's not your thing. If they wait to the last minute, they wait to the last minute.
But it's my problem because I'm the main
Yeah,
person.
but they're not going to do that to you. I don't think they would know
I'm just
the
saying
stakes.
I have to make sure that they're done.
They already know where they're moving.
No.
They do. They do. I think they do. You're going to... This is what I'm saying. You have 5 months. I think you'll... tell them this weekend you're not going to be in town. You guys have to be out.
You've got 120 days, Tim.
That feels like forever, but it's really not.
Listen,
It's
someone's
gonna
got to
feel
do the
forever.
grilling. You've got to come.
We do have to go to the dump and throw away a lot of stuff. All the furniture
Oh, your parents
That's
don't... Well, obviously
in
they
the
don't want it
living
back.
room, all that stuff. So I have to make sure, and we actually have to clean it. So
Yeah. I thought they repaint and do everything though.
yeah, but I want to make sure that they don't try to take our deposit. Keep our
yeah.
deposit.
How much is it? That's a little payday for you.
No, our deposit, they didn't charge us anything. They only charged us $300.
So you get it back.
If that's
Yeah.
what I'm making sure. I'm
That's
making sure that they. But I would
that's
have
a cool
to give.
$150 in your
I would
pocket.
have to give them back. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you buy a Lego with it.
I'm already gonna be buying a Lego. I already told you what I was gonna be buying next year.
Pay for his trip with it.
There you go. Ashton already
I'm
paid
also
me.
going away in April to the beach house.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. That's a big trip.
It's a big trip. It's
Yeah.
over. It's exactly 8 days. A whole week and a day. I never take vacations that long, so
No, you don't. You don't take vacations ever.
I don't like to. I don't like not working.
You got to fix that. Because not working is awesome.
I can't help it. Like when I'm off, my mind is like I could be making money.
Yeah. I get that. But that will isn't strong enough when I'm at work and they say, hey, do you want to go home? That's when I fall short. I'm like, absolutely, I want to go home. And then on the way home, I'm like, man, probably shouldn't have done that.
So the only reason I go home is if I know in my head that I worked 50 hours. If I'm not at 50 hours, then I don't go home.
Yeah.
But it's different for everybody. And I know that you also have 2 incomes. So
That helps. Marry a nurse, Tim. That's all you got to do. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I am getting a controversial Lego set next year, Ashton.
Are you?
It's controversial.
That everybody's telling Jesse doesn't like it. Navarro likes it, but he doesn't like the price point. I like it, but I don't like
No
the
one
price
likes the
point.
price point.
But I will buy it regardless.
Have you seen it?
Mm.
I don't want to talk about Legos again, but it's the big Hulk Buster from the Avengers.
Oh, okay.
It's
20 inches tall?
It's 20 inches tall. But people are upset about it because it's $550 and the amount of pieces that you get versus how big it isn't
Not a good
worth
ratio.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of people like it. It looks great. Everybody's saying it looks good, but
Yeah.
for that price is insane.
Yeah. And I agree. I think Lego's just throwing out prices because they know people buy their product.
Yeah, people are going to buy it anyway.
So I know it's not going to sell out. I'm going to wait and be patient. And if there's any kind of discount, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. Even if it's $50. So that's just a set that I got to
Or wait for double XP. I always call it double XP.
Oh, speaking of XP,
Double VIP.
Modern Warfare 2 launched
Today.
today.
Yep. I'm almost done with the campaign.
You had it, right?
Oh, yeah.
You bought it?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't played any of the multiplayer yet?
No, we did. We played when we pre-ordered that weekend. You got early access for that weekend. It's very good. It feels really good. They never do anything. They never do wrong. Every year they come out with. It's kind of like. By the way, he said he doesn't have a photo of it. It's kind of like.
Someone has a photo.
Like Madden comes out every year with its iteration, but Madden's flopping. Modern Warfare or Call of Duty does the same thing, but it seems to get better every single year. The gameplay, the campaigns even I really like, the structure behind it. So me and Dan played it and we really liked it, and it just came out today, the full version of it. So I'm almost done with the campaign. One of the levels in the campaign is like a shot-for-shot scene from Lone Survivor. Did you ever see that movie? Do you remember that movie, Tim?
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Don't remember it.
Okay. Well, one of the scenes is like directly from the movie. But yeah, Call of Duty is really good. The gaming in general
I
is
don't
really
like
good right now.
the way the new Call of Duty's, like, maybe this is just a pet peeve of mine, but it feels weird to me when you're running and it looks like the screen is like,
It's realistic.
like, you know what I mean? Like when you're running and the screen
it
is
kind of
like
gets a little blurry.
focused,
Yeah.
like it zooms in.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I know it's realistic and everything, but I don't like the way the new first-person shooters are.
Yeah, they are getting kind of close to Battlefield in terms of realistic.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Because back in the day, Call of Duty was not realistic compared to Battlefield. So
exactly.
You can tell they're competing.
But back in the day, if people wanted realistic, they would play Battlefield, and if they wanted fun, they would play Call of Duty.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like you had fun playing Call of Duty, and then Battlefield was just.
I never played Battlefield. It was way too realistic for me.
Yeah,
but yeah, Call of Duty's getting close, but it's very good. I don't think they've missed. Every game seems to come out, and they've got.
I know you enjoyed the first Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's
Remastered.
the one I played the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever like Call of Duty?
World at War I played a lot when I was in high school.
I love that one. With zombies for the first time.
Yep.
Do you remember when zombies came out? Everybody played zombies. They beat the campaign just to unlock zombies and play.
You had to.
Do you remember the night?
Yeah.
One night we did?
And it wasn't that good. Black Ops was when it got really good.
Yeah.
But I loved World at War because of the setting. I've always liked the Second World War. And then Kiefer Sutherland was the voice actor for your commander throughout the whole game. And I was all into 24. Kiefer Sutherland is the guy that plays Jack Bauer on 24.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yep. So he was the voice actor for the commander on there. So
World at War was my first Call of Duty I played.
I think that I played. I can't remember if Modern Warfare came out before or after that one, but I played Modern Warfare. I played World at War. I played Black Ops. And then I kind of fell off after Black Ops 2. I was never into the online.
Tim was all about Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 1.
Never mind.
The story mode on Black Ops was really good.
Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3. Black Ops 2 was
Yeah.
But Black Ops 1 I
always liked Call of Duty. I always go back to it every couple of years or so. Not even just for the online, just the story mode. And
have you noticed though every year though they keep trying to cater to the past because that's the only thing that works.
Yeah, where do you go from here? How many wars can you cover?
Like every time
every 2 or 3 they go back to
the old because it was popular. They're not gonna.
Although World War II was very good.
I feel like they need to be like what's that very popular first-person shooter on PC that still holds up?
PUBG?
No. Did
Marshall used to play it?
No, it's still going on. They have tournaments. It's like one of the most popular. CS:GO.
Right.
They need to just do what CS:GO does and just leave it alone and just let the same game keep going and just update it.
Yeah, but they're not going to make a lot of money doing that. It's like same thing with
microtransactions. You know how many people buy stuff for their weapons and try to get knives and stuff?
I mean, they're kind of doing that with Warzone. Warzone lasts probably 3 years at this point. They're going to start.
Isn't there a new chapter?
At the end, I think at the end of this year, Warzone 2 is coming out. I think that's what they're doing with it. They're doing that battle royale and just keep updating it. Every time a game comes out, all those guns are in it. So, and that one's free to play with battle passes and stuff like that.
Are you still playing?
I haven't played Warzone regularly since like season 3. It's been a long time. Back when they had, they would put like 80s classic rock songs in the battle pass, and then you would unlock them, and then every time you get in a vehicle, it plays that song.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this great clip of, I think it's me, Rain, and Navarro playing, and we're getting in a gunfight, and I grab the helicopter, and they all jump in, and Toto, Africa starts playing as we're taking off, and there's bombs going off. Dude, it was one of the greatest moments of my life, man. It's so much fun. That music makes the game. But they stopped putting in like major songs that I wanted, so I just stopped trying. And they put it at level like 80 out of 100, you know? So you have to work for it.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. You know? It's really fun. But yeah, I'm probably going to play maybe sometime this weekend. I'll try to play multiplayer, see how it goes. I think Dan's playing it right now, actually.
I wouldn't
Hey,
doubt
Dan.
it. I did hear, though, I was watching a streamer play today. There was a lot of like glitches and getting kicked out of games for the...
Tends to be the trend nowadays.
I don't understand how companies can launch a game
Half completed.
knowing that it won't work.
Yep.
On launch day.
Yep.
Like I get that you set a specific date and you're expected to pump it out on the date that you say, but I'd rather you just make me upset than make me wait 45 minutes to play one match and then get kicked out halfway through it.
Right.
It's absurd. And I don't know. I haven't played a video game in ages. I like to talk about them. I like to watch them.
You do mobile games every day though.
Yes, every day.
So you do play games every day.
Even purchase stuff.
Yeah.
But either way, have you given Overwatch 2 another chance?
I haven't played it. I have done all the updates. The Halloween event started Tuesday, so I jumped in to see.
New Halloween skins?
There's only one new skin, and it's locked behind a $20 paywall. It was funny because all of they're taking skins from previous years, and now the model is you have to pay money to get those.
Old skins.
Right. But on the screen where it shows like the one brand new skins up at the top, and then below it, it's the Halloween legendary skins from previous years. And all of it says owned. I'm like, yeah, it is.
I'm glad that even though they charge you $20 for a legendary skin, I'm glad they at least gave you your old skins, because be honest, if you didn't get your old skins, would you have played Overwatch 2? Or would you play Overwatch 2?
Hell yeah.
I don't know. If none of the stuff from the first game had transferred over, I would have been really upset.
Right.
Because
and you should be.
in a way, the first game is completely dead. Like
Yeah.
it's game over. And I am glad all that stuff transferred over, but I don't like that before Jesse and I could spend $40 on 50 boxes and we would get somewhere between 6 and 10 legendary skins. Now, and I know that you can't choose what you get, but you would build up gold and then you can buy what you wanted. But now it's, you pay $40, you can only get 2 skins.
It's ridiculous.
Honestly, that makes me upset.
Yeah, it's a ripoff.
Yeah.
I wish more people would take a stand and not play the game if they disagreed with something.
Now, it's one of those things where what they can hide behind is, well, you don't need to spend money to play the game, right? You can still play the game and enjoy all of the benefits of it. You just don't have the fancy new skins.
Except the new characters, right? Don't you have to have the pass?
Well, you can win them through the normal free battle pass. You just have to grind a little bit harder.
Level 50. But I think what they did was listen to all the people who were complaining about the other original one saying, this is the skin I want, and the odds are if I spend $20, I'm not getting it. So what they did, I think, was overcorrect and say, okay, now you can only buy exactly what you want. There's still that sense of chance, which you could still spend $20 and, like you said, still get a lot of legendary skins. Even though it wasn't exactly what you want, sometimes you'd be opening them and you'd be like, oh, this is a really cool skin. I didn't know I wanted it, but now that I have it, I'll use it. You know, that's gone. You know, I'm never going to spend $20 on a skin.
No, it's too much. And the bundles where you get the spray, player icon, skin are more than $20.
Yeah. That part's stupid.
They're really like throwing whatever price they want at everything to make everybody buy.
I hope they bring loot boxes back. I'll just say it. I'd rather have both. Why not give us both?
Yeah.
You know? What hurts them from giving us both? You know?
It's kind of surprising that for the Halloween event, there's only one new skin.
That's the other thing. The Halloween event's underwhelming. Did you play the...
I haven't. Trey told me Wednesday night that it was the best game mode he thinks Overwatch has put out.
Really? I didn't like it because it was very... Yeah, I texted you about it. You know, I didn't get to finish it because people sucked and we lost really fast.
Yeah.
So it could be a good game mode. I just saw, you know.
Yes, I get it.
It just... They didn't even make Junkenstein's Revenge a main. You had to, like, go into, like, a page or two and find it.
Search for it, yeah.
Yeah. And even that, they took away a lot of characters to play in that game. You cannot play...
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't play all of them you used to be able to. No tanks. There's no tanks anymore.
Well, there were never tanks. It was always just DPS and healers.
I don't remember that. For some reason, I don't remember that.
Interesting.
But they did take but they did take away some characters. There's not a lot of characters you can choose from.
The go-tos
and maybe I'm wrong. I bet Trey's like, dude, you're wrong. He's probably saying it right now. I remember looking at the lineup and saying, where are all the characters you used to be able to play?
I would be surprised if they did that. It would. Well, let me say this. It wouldn't be surprising if they did that. We always ran Soldier, Torb, McCree, and then I would play Zen or Brigida.
Maybe I misspoke. Everyone you're saying is in the game still. Maybe I was just upset.
There was Tracer, Widow, Hanzo, Ash.
Yeah.
There were never tanks.
Yeah, you're right about that. I played as Soldier, and there was a Hanzo, a Baptiste, and someone else on our team.
Baptiste, yeah.
He was always in it.
Baptiste,
yeah, maybe I misspoke.
Baptiste, Ana, Zenyatta, and Brigida, I think, are the four healers.
Yeah. I think what I didn't like most about it was right when you log into the main screen, you know, you used to be able to hit the right trigger and see all the new skins.
Yeah, I didn't like that either, man.
Because there's no new skins.
Yeah, there's
Did they add any new skins?
There's only one.
Is there really? Is it for one of the new characters, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Which it was very underwhelming, I've got to be honest.
Just look at the last. He doesn't have an iPhone anymore.
A liar. Why?
It broke.
Oh. That sucks.
But he is getting a new one next week, so hopefully he gets the 14 Pro.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, I feel like we beat Overwatch to death. I feel okay, Mr. Deep Purple. Yeah, I feel like we beat Overwatch to death. And we're gonna be able to actually play it for the first time together tomorrow. Maybe even tonight. Probably not tonight, but
no, tomorrow.
All right, fine.
I saw you still have Overwatch 1 in your PS4 though.
I had put it in because during the beta I had to put it in to be able to open up the beta for Overwatch 2. It was really dumb.
I hate Blizzard. We don't have to talk about it.
I love that there's a credit card just sitting on Jesse's desk over there, ready to be entered.
That's the cabin credit card.
Yeah, it is.
You want to see something nuts? Open that drawer right behind you. There's a piece of paper in there. It's scary. Really is. That's for the siding.
You don't have to use it for the site.
It's true. But I got to pay Tracy somehow. And I don't think he takes Legos or Pokemon cards. Yeah. So, yeah. That's about it. We don't need to talk about Overwatch anymore. It gets boring. We'll have a better opinion on it next week, though, now that after you actually play it.
Which, you know, you can give me an in-depth detail about how your experience went tomorrow. Do they still do the matchmaking where you have to wait if you choose a certain...
Yes, but all of them are under 5 minutes now.
Wonder why that is.
Tank is the highest.
Wonder why.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you can play DPS in 3 minutes. It's pretty cool. Competitive is probably like 6 to 7 minutes for tank and then like 5 for DPS. But I've never waited more than like 3 minutes, honestly, to get into a game. I've played more healer now than ever because I always do open queue. And I mean, I'm a healer. Me and Trey played for a couple hours one day, and me and him were both healer for like 6 matches in a row.
Mm.
So that's always the lowest queue, even from the older game.
Well,
so what would you say is the meta, or who do you see getting picked the most?
For some reason, Genji is on every single freaking team. Genji, Orisa, Widow, oddly enough. We've played against a lot of
The
Widows.
3 hardest characters to play.
Yeah.
Widow will always get picked. Genji
Yeah.
will always get picked.
Hanzo.
Yeah, I was watching Asa play against an Orisa, and I was shocked at how mobile she is now.
Very fast.
It's
She doesn't slow down while she's shooting.
frightening.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, you're going to play against a lot of her tomorrow, dude. If you see a good Orisa player, you're not killing her.
Yeah.
She can deflect bullets, and when she's doing that spear spin thing, she can knock people back also. So she just runs towards people. She'll do that gold thing where she like takes less damage and then spins it and just like pushes people back.
Yeah.
She's very overpowered right now, and you could tell. And almost every time I'm playing, she comes up in some point in the match.
What does he play on?
Almost. Series S.
Xbox, huh?
X.
Yep.
Series X.
Thought there would only be PlayStation fans in that house.
No.
No?
You talking about me?
No.
actually,
not in his house.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about me.
No.
Actually,
Oh, your brother.
all of my brothers have always only played Xbox except for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Why?
Well, and before that, I didn't have a PS3. I had a 360. I bought the PlayStation 4 because at the time that was what Gary played, and I bought the PS4 to play Destiny. So I bought it so that we could play Destiny. Because I don't think Destiny was cross-platform at that time.
No, it was not.
Is it because you're really into Japan?
No, that really didn't have anything to do with it.
I was going to say, because even us, we were always Xbox, but when the
The 360 was a great generation.
Yeah, the 360
Oh, yeah.
was great. But we switched to PS4 also.
Mm-hmm.
Which was
I'd never
weird.
switched. I always had one. I think I always had one of each. Relax.
I didn't say anything.
I saw the look on your face. Well, I think I did. Maybe I didn't, because I had the one, and didn't I sell it to get the PS4 because of Uncharted? I wanted to play Uncharted. No,
I
the
think
PS3.
I think you bought it.
The
It was
PS3
the PS3.
Slim, the one that had the sliding disc on the top.
Mm.
Yeah, you bought that for Uncharted, but you also had an Xbox, though.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I've always been an Xbox
Mm-hmm.
player. But what?
You'll buy a PS5 eventually, though.
Me?
Yeah, you will.
I mean, I don't see it out of the realm of possibility, but until there's a solo game that is only on PlayStation,
It'll be at least a year, but you'll get it before the end of the year next year. There will be some deal where if you trade in your PS4, you'll get like X amount.
I'll tell you what, I love. Ashton spoke to me a couple weeks ago. Not personally. I mean, he touched me deeply. I don't think I want to sell my old consoles anymore.
Why would you say?
No, when we talked about it on the podcast, he said something
Oh.
about he always keeps his old consoles.
Yeah.
I really like that idea. I always did it to get a newer console for cheaper.
Mm-hmm. That's what they do.
Yeah. But I don't know, especially with the original Switch. I'm never going to sell that Switch. I'm going to get hopefully I'll get the OLED next week. I'm not selling that one.
Yeah.
You're right. It will be Savannah's.
She's not putting a sticker on that Switch.
A sticker.
Remember she said she wants to get a skin for it.
Oh. Well, I don't think a skin is like a sticker.
I'm not. Mm-mm.
A
It's
sticker.
it's going to leave a residue.
A sticker would leave residue, but I think a skin is made for.
It'll still leave
It'll
residue,
still
though.
something. I'm not. Which she's never gonna do that anyway. She acts like it's going to be her Switch. She doesn't play games. She's not going to put a skin on it.
Right.
But we'll let her talk about it like she's going to do it, but she...
Right. So we're a little ways into this podcast, so I feel like we either should branch off towards the movie or the sports.
I want to talk about the movie.
You want to talk about the movie?
Do the movie right now? All right.
Ash,
Gentlemen.
tell the people.
Let me sit back for a minute.
Yeah.
Ash is pulling up his notes. What is he pulling out?
Not only did he bring his Mac, but he's probably whipping out his iPad too.
What has he got there? What's he pulling out of his bag of tricks here?
Yeah, his iPad.
It's a lot of pockets in there.
Yeah.
What's on the iPad that is not on your MacBook?
My Mac's updating at the moment.
Whoa. Okay. He's mooching off my Wi-Fi, I think is what he's doing.
Yep. Blazing fast at the basement. Okay. So, we watched this week Lupin the Third, The Mystery of Mamo.
I got to pull up my notes.
For some reason, every time I was searching it or looking at it, I said mono, but it's Mamo.
Yep.
I don't know why I kept saying mono.
Did you type in the history of mono?
Every
or the mystery of
time.
mono on Google?
Every time. Every time.
The Mystery of Mono.
Every time. Carry on.
Oh, man. Oh, man. So, Lupin the Third, Mystery of Mamo came out in 1978. And I see that Siri corrected my note to Mystery of Mamo.
Oh, she did mono too?
It says Mystery of Mama. This should definitely be an O. Mystery of Mamo. Mystery of Mamo came out in 1978, and it was the first Lupin movie right after the first season of the television series aired. And it was directed by Soji Yoshikawa, who, Tim, also worked on Future Boy Conan the very same year, 1978, with a Mr. Hayao Miyazaki.
I love that show.
Tim owns Future Boy Conan. I actually haven't seen it.
But it's probably still in the cellophane wrapping, isn't it?
No, he's watched it.
I've watched it like 4 times over.
Wow.
It's one of those shows that I just keep on in the background because it's a nice... it reminds me of Studio Ghibli, so I like to keep it on.
Did you watch it subbed or dubbed? Dubbed.
It's easier for me.
That's how you keep it on in the background.
Yeah.
Future Boy Conan, and then he also worked on City Hunter in 87.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know that until I looked him up, so that was cool. He worked on a lot of stuff. The majority of the other things he worked on are a little bit more obscure, but probably stuff your dad would know, Tim. Mm-hmm. But 1978 was when this came out, and I'm going to be very curious to hear what y'all thought about it. Tim's had a little bit more exposure to Lupin, but this is a very different movie than the movie that came out the following year, Castle of Cagliostro, which Tim has seen
many times.
And maybe Tim can start if you want to make any kind of comparisons or differences between the two. And Tim has just freshly watched this today, so
I did freshly watch it today.
You may have some insights that you can share, but I'm really looking forward to hearing what y'all have to say about it. It is a crazy movie, and
it is.
It's not surface level at all. So let's do it.
So Lupin, I like all the Lupin movies. I haven't found one that I didn't dislike. I just don't like it as much as other ones, which you are referring to, the Castle of Cagliostro, which so far is still my favorite.
Are you seeing now how there are different versions of Lupin depending on who does it?
Yeah. Which I kind of am bummed about because I get used to one Lupin and then it switches to another one.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the movie in general. I think most Lupin movies are kind of like not the same, but kind of the same. Like it's the same like art style, and the music is the same, and it gives you that Lupin kind of feel when you're watching it. But I would say this one I didn't like as much as other ones, but it was still good. I just didn't like the villain in it as much as other villains. I like the music. The art is awesome, but if I had to put it in a category with the ones that the other ones that I've seen, I would probably put it like in the middle, kind of. Yeah. But I would watch it again because I didn't really like. I would say most Lupin movies that I've seen, you need to watch it more than once. I feel like every experience is different, but yeah, I would say for this one being the first movie ever created, it was good. I just didn't like. I don't know if there's more than one voice actor for the English versions.
There's 4.
But I didn't like the one that I watched as much.
Yeah.
For the voice actors. For all of them.
Right.
I don't know which one did you watch the same voice actor that I watched?
Well, I did English.
Right. But there's 3 or 4 different English versions.
And on that one Blu-ray?
Yes.
Yeah.
There should have been 4 different ones. You probably didn't go to Jesse probably watched the most recent one.
I just hit play and it started going, and I didn't look to change it.
In the setup, there's 4 different English tracks.
Why?
Because since 78, it's been localized 4 times, and
Yeah.
they had a different dub team do it each time.
Oh, okay.
And see that y'all are in a land that I don't. I'm
That
not
definitely
saying that
took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that as a knock, but
Right.
the voice acting can change the whole feel of the movie.
Yeah, it can.
Definitely. Yeah, the detective or whoever was awful.
Also,
way too animated.
Goemon,
Uh-huh.
I didn't like that actor at all, whoever voiced.
Man, that's too bad.
I feel like if we switched it up, I would probably I want to watch the one that did it first, the first English version, which I don't know if we did or not.
I'd rather just watch the dubbed.
Yeah?
You mean the sub?
Subbed?
The original
Yes.
Japanese?
Oh, yeah,
That's
subbed.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, I think so.
But I did like it. I just found the character the voices for English the version that I watched boring,
Man, that's too bad.
which like you said can change a lot. But I will watch it again in a different version. I don't like watching subs because you can't you have to literally be focused the whole time.
I get it.
For most people, not you.
Whatever.
I believe it.
I did like the story though. I would say the villain is weak though. I didn't like him as much as other villains in movies that I've seen. But it was a good watch. I'll definitely watch it again.
So I think the villain was more an idea than an actual.
And isn't there multiple movies with him?
He shows up. So I know that y'all are not going to remember this, but at the end of the first Lupin movie that we watched at the cabin, the credits roll, and then there's a short little extra scene that Marvel likes to do, that kind of thing, where the credits in credit scene. And there's this giant, if y'all remember, in the city that Lupin and Jigen get shot in, there's just cameras everywhere. And at the end of the movie, there's this giant wall, and it's all these TV monitors, and Lupin and Jigen are sitting in the car by the ocean, the sun setting, and they're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on on one of the camera screens where there's a camera on them, and Mamo is standing in front of the screens. So
he's kind of an overarching character through all of the movies.
yeah, some of the villains they bring up. There's another guy that travels from the future back to try to kill Lupin that is in a few of the movies.
Is this kind of like a multiverse situation? Do they acknowledge a multiverse, or do they just put them out and say this is what it is?
There's not any kind of continuing or underlying storyline, especially with different directors. I think that there's a cast of characters, and they have a certain degree of creative freedom to bring those out.
So it's just understood that there's different creators. This is what their story is.
Right.
They want to use it how they see fit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Tim did say something about the music. So the guy that composes the music, Yuji Ono, he's done probably 95% of the music for every Lupin thing ever done. I think the only TV that he didn't do it for was the first season. So pretty much everything from season 2 onward, the movies, he is the guy. And it's very much a Charlie Brown situation, I think, where Vince Guaraldi's soundtrack makes Charlie Brown this next level.
Yeah. So they stick with him.
Thing. So Yuji Ono made that jazz sound for Lupin, and it just fits the character perfectly, I think. But yeah, the dub thing is unfortunate. Jesse, what about you?
All right. So this is my third Lupin movie I've watched.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'll talk about the stuff I like. And this is what's sad about it. I watched it on Tuesday, and I finished it on Wednesday. And I have notes about the movie, but I don't remember what the notes refer to. It's so sad. So, you'll have to explain to me the opening scene. Is it Lupin that's getting hanged?
Yes.
Did they ever refer to that again for the rest of the movie?
Yes.
I don't remember, but I remember right when the movie started, I was hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the heck was going on there? So, how did that conclude? Or how did they refer back to it? Because I don't remember it being referred again.
So, in the end, when Mamo is thinking he's about to kill Lupin with the laser blaster, he tells him, by the way, you're the original. You yourself are the original. So he copied Lupin. He cloned him at some point.
Yeah.
And the clone is who was hung.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. The movie is, I'll get into that, but yes, that is mentioned again.
Okay, gotcha. This other note that I don't remember. I wrote, hilarious how they snuck into the cave. How did they sneak into the cave? Isn't this so sad?
Hilarious.
Was it when they went into the pyramid? Remember they went into the pyramid and stole something?
Yes.
But I don't remember them sneaking in. I remember
You're talking
them getting
about
out.
when they were on the stilts and...
Oh my gosh, yes.
They were like,
it's like the secret agent thing. There was like your lasers going through everywhere, and I thought it was so cool. Because you see that happen a lot in those kind of movies, but you never see he was dialing in the centimeters.
Right.
He said something like 39 centimeters.
Yeah.
And then Jigen is in the back, like actually doing it, and then hands it to him, and he sticks it out. Dude, that was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I remembered that.
Yeah, that was in the pyramids.
Yes. Okay. That was really cool. So I'll say this. I liked the beginning. I liked the first half of the movie way better than the second half of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it when it felt like I got a lot of like Saturday morning cartoon vibes from the movie. Specifically when they're in the car chase on the sides of the cliff and the guardrail breaks and they're falling off the cliff and they're in like a buggy or something, and he rides on two wheels on the guardrail back onto the road. Like it's very like cartoonish, like Looney Tunes almost, you know?
Yeah.
So I liked the first half of the movie better than the second half. I didn't like when it got sci-fi-y, which is very of its time, I'm sure, the late 70s era. I didn't like that aspect of it. I like the Lupin like we watched at the cabin. Very I don't know, it's hard to put a finger on it. I didn't like the sci-fi aspect. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Maybe more of the James Bond type element to it. And see, I think Tim, if Tim's got a Lupin wallpaper on his phone there, I think if Jesse watched Cagliostro that he wouldn't like it.
No?
I don't think so. I think he would, especially it's like 2.5 hours long.
I couldn't watch it.
I feel like he would get bored with it.
This movie,
It's very entertaining though.
It is, but I just compare it to the style that we watched at the cabin,
Yeah.
especially
I
that
love
first
that.
movie.
I felt like you were in and out. Awesome story.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Did you watch Bye Bye Lady Liberty yet, Tim? Okay. I think Jesse would really like that one too.
Can you bring some to me?
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to, like, actually... I want to watch more. I'll tell you this. I love Lupin.
Man, that makes me
Lupin.
so happy.
I really do. And it started with the music. You got me hooked on the music, those albums that you sent me.
Yeah.
I like the universe. I don't know about you. I like that there's different directors and stuff taking on
The
different stories.
iterations. Yeah.
I really like that.
It's almost where I'll be in a different mood for a different Lupin,
Mhm.
and there's one that I can pull off.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's,
I like it.
there's
Because
just so much of it.
there's something like it's a cool character, and sometimes I'm assuming, I haven't seen a lot of them, but you'll see a movie and be like, man, I wish he did this. And then you can see a different director do that. You know, you actually get to see it. So I like that aspect of it. I need to see more of them to, I guess, see if that pans out the way I think it does. But yeah, and I'm on your side with the villain. I didn't like the villain at all. He was mysterious and kind of scary until you saw him, and you're like, come on. Even though it ended up being a brain, right? Was he like just a clone or something that he used, or
Right. So
because there was multiple of them?
he had cloned himself hundreds of times.
Okay, so at the
And
end of the day, he was the brain is Mamo.
the brain was the original.
Yeah. Yeah, so even then, and even when you saw him throughout the rest of the movie, you're just like, I'm not scared of this guy anymore. You know? I love, what's her name?
Fujiko? Yeah.
I love Fujiko. I think I'm in love with her,
Yep.
and it's a problem. I think, although she's not cool to Lupin, I still like her.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps that she's just pretty. So other than that, yeah, it wasn't my favorite one. Although I've
Yeah.
only seen 3.
Yeah, it's not the best. So, I do want to say some things about it because I think that it's an important movie for the franchise. This movie, I think, Jesse, that you said it right in a way that the first half of this movie is very different from the second half of this movie. And when it starts off, so the first 30 minutes, we begin with Lupin being hanged. His body is in a coffin in Transylvania, which Inspector Zenigata stumbles upon, and then Lupin flies off on a paraglider or whatever it is.
I love that. I love that scene.
So that's like the first 10 minutes, and then Lupin's then in Egypt with Jigen, and they're trying to steal the Philosopher's Stone from a pyramid, which Lupin wants to use to hopefully, at least partially, lead to him getting laid. And then after that, they're on this nightmare island in the Caribbean where there's this mansion and Confucius and Napoleon and Hitler are walking around. So
I love when Lupin goes like this.
That was really funny.
So there's no breaks in this movie. It's very much just gas. And it's all over the place, and it sets this tone to where at a point you're like, okay, this movie is so bizarre that really anything could happen. And I think that allows it to go where it ends up going. So the crazy car chase that Jesse was talking about, I'm pretty sure that was an Optimus Prime nod.
Exactly.
Were
That's what I thought
was
of.
Transformers around in the late 70s?
I think so. Either the late 70s or the early 80s.
Yeah.
But it might have been.
It would have had to have been at or before.
84.
Okay, so that was just early because this came out in 78. It looks so much like Optimus Prime, but it was
did.
just this massive semi, I guess.
Maybe that was a common color back then, and they just adopted it.
Well, they were in France. It was supposed to be the French colors, which that was the French flag's color scheme. But they're in that little car being chased down by that massive semi.
Yeah.
So that scene was wild, and then the Egypt scene was funny.
I was upset that semi truck got off the back and got back on the road. I was
Yeah.
like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Again, that's what I mean about the Saturday morning cartoons. You know, you got to let go of that because it's so crazy. You're like, yeah, of course he did that. You knew when it was tipping. You're like, he's gonna get back and go.
It was funny though. I wasn't upset when they were escaping on the little rope riding across, but
Yeah.
I was upset when they
Yeah,
got back
yeah.
on the road on the
Yeah.
semi truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. The front tires got ripped off or something. So the
they-
back tire was still going. When they're on the motorcycle? Is that a motorcycle?
Right.
Or-
So they come up out of the pyramid, and as they're coming
Yes.
out, Goemon
Yes.
slashes the tires off, which somehow completely stops the momentum of the bike, and they just fall over. And then they get on it.
That was cool though.
The two of them are
Mhm.
riding down the rope, and Goemon's running behind
That was
them.
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the cars are under them trying to beat them, you know?
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
that was really cool.
Cool scene. But
yeah, again, I
also-
like that first half better.
also, just really wacky and cartoony.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all noticed this throughout the movie. There's kind of this just squabbling that goes on between Lupin and Goemon and Jigen. Fujiko's very much more where she's playing with Lupin in the beginning, like just trying to use him for the Philosopher's Stone. But the second half of that movie, she becomes more pretty much after the point where they travel through the desert and he's with her in that house, and she basically just cock blocks him. But then after that, she's very much more affectionate towards him. Her tone changes in the second half of the movie, but
You think it's because she likes being chased? I think that's what.
oh
it is.
yeah.
Because when he was like, only you two are gonna live forever, and then he was like, when Mamo said that Lupin wasn't like worthy or something, she was like trying to be like, no, give me 5 minutes with him. You know,
Right.
it's like she didn't want to be alone. You know, she liked being chased.
Mhm.
I think that's what it is about her character.
She also has a point to where Mamo says that he's not going to give Lupin the eternal life, and only Fujiko will get it. She says that she doesn't want it because she doesn't want to watch Lupin get old.
Wow.
But before we jump forward into that, let me follow my notes here. So yeah, a couple other things I wrote down about just anything can happen in this movie. They're wandering through the desert and they come to this table with a pitcher of water on it, and Lupin walks up to it, and the pitcher just bursts into flames.
Yeah.
And
The mirage.
how about the helicopter chasing them down into the sewer?
And it got through and started chasing him in it. Yeah.
And then Goemon cuts it in half with his sword. I don't know what the dub was like, but when they're driving past him in the sewers, like Goemon's just standing there waiting,
Mm-hmm.
and Jigen and Lupin drive past him, and Lupin says, "Goemon, you're so cool," as they're driving past. But and then even when they're sitting in the cafe and the helicopter shows up and starts shooting, it's just like everyone dies. Just like it's shooting all these people, it's blowing the windows out. Jigen has a wine glass in his hand, and I don't know if you paid any attention to this, but he makes it into the car with the beverage still intact and then throws it out. It's like you had a helicopter machine gunning you, and you hold on to the glass the whole time, and then the man gets in the car and just dishes it. But when one of the scenes with Mamo and Fujiko, the butterflies that are extinct that Mamo brings back to life, and they're flying across the sky at sunset or whatever. So this movie's all over the place.
Yeah.
Because that was artistically, I thought it was a really beautiful scene, what the artist did with it. But jumping to the latter half of it with Mamo and kind of what happens there, maybe Tim felt this where he's watched a little bit more of it, but one of the things that never happens with Lupin is a situation comes up where he doesn't have some kind of comeback, where something leaves him speechless. This is one of the few times where Mamo's plan is revealed to him, and I don't know if y'all remember his face, but he's just completely speechless.
Mhm.
It's like this look of shock. And that part always hits me because it's so uncharacteristic for him. But I've always wanted to use this phrase, Jess, from Sugar We're Going Down,
Mhm.
the chorus about a loaded God complex.
Yes. Yeah.
So Mamo actually has a God complex. I mean, he thinks he's
Yeah.
a god.
Mm-hmm. He's trying to play God.
Yeah.
Yeah, by making immortal people.
He's got this trick that he's figured out that seems to defy logic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But what I was mentioning earlier, Tim saying he didn't like his character as much, I think that the wrestle that Lupin and Fujiko have with Mamo is that it's an existential question. Is, do you really want to live forever? And the two of them pretty much decide that no, they don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes the two of them, the relationship of the two of them, to realize that, which I mentioned earlier. Fujiko says she doesn't want to live forever and watch Lupin grow old. And then, I don't know if y'all caught this, but when Lupin gets put on the table and that thing strapped to his brain, and he's like analyzing his dreams, and then he goes deep into his subconscious, and it's just emptiness.
Mm-hmm.
And he says something, Mamo says something like, the man's either a fool or a god. but afterwards, after Lupin gets off of that, he says Fujiko's in danger, and he tells Jigen that he needs to go rescue his dream. So, like, there was just the emptiness in his brain, but then Fujiko is his dream. So, there's the existential, like, philosophical question around Mamo, and I think that's the real, like, wrestling with the characters. Just looking here to see what else I wanted to touch on. So I think that idea on its own is actually a serious idea to think about. I mean, would either of you want to possibly live forever?
No,
That was a fast answer.
I wouldn't.
Why not?
I think it's just the way I am. I don't want to deal with life longer than I have to.
You ain't kidding. Yeah.
But I feel like some people want to live forever because they're scared of death, but I'm not scared of death.
Who are you talking to? Yeah.
I think it just has to, like, do you want to deal with the everyday life of, like, the good times, but also the BS, like, over and over and over and over and over for
But you like Endgame.
ever.
You like Endgame. You like the grind. If you don't live forever, you're not going to enjoy Endgame.
And when Mamo's brain blows up in space, Lupin says something like, "You'll thank me for this." And it's exactly what Tim's just said. It's like, I just saved you from the endless repetition of...
Mm-hmm. Seeing everybody die around you.
And other movies also do this where, like you said, they have to live through each, like, century and decade watching the people they get attached to die, and then they have to restart their life and then find new people and then grow relationships with that and then watch them die and then go over and over.
And most of the time when you see it, that person, by the time you see the movie, they want to end their immortality.
Yeah. Yeah.
This happens in Lord of the Rings.
Doesn't?
The elf that falls in love with Aragorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Her father tells her, don't let yourself fall into this. He's mortal.
Yeah.
She,
Forgot about that.
yeah. So it's a recurring theme in literature that do you want to become a god like that? It's the fact that things are limited, finite, that makes them precious.
Yeah.
So I think that part, the latter half of the movie, justifies you taking it seriously, because the first half of it is kind of crazy, cartoony Lupin, and then the second half just dives into this existential, philosophical quandary of, would you want to live forever? And so one of the themes that is woven throughout the movie is love. Not only between Lupin and Fujiko, but also Jigen and Goemon. They are fighting with Lupin constantly about, like, dude, stop chasing this woman. She's only leads to bad outcomes, And they get to a point where they're just like, all right, screw you, man. Just do whatever you're going to do. But then they end up coming back. Goemon's broken sword piece saves Lupin's life.
Yeah. Yeah, he used it at the end.
Right. And the scene where Fujiko gets kidnapped and there's the earthquake and Jigen's Lupin's sitting at this collapsed bar with the bottle of whiskey or whatever it was that's right there, and he's working on some kind of device. And, Jigen shows up and tries to talk him out of it. It's like, don't mess with a god. And Lupin basically plays the rational man and says, this guy's not a god. And Jigen tries to stop him. He shoots the can at his foot or whatever, and it's like, don't do it. And that's when Lupin says, I've got to go get my dream back. So there's not only the love between Lupin and Fujiko, but also the love that Jigen and Goemon have for him, because their friendship is what ends up saving Lupin in the end. That ending is crazy because we see the little minions of Mamo try to kill Lupin, and I don't know if you paid attention, but their face was all distorted. And he tells Lupin that he's been copied so many times that, like, as you copy an image more and more and more, it becomes more and more.
Diminishing return,
right.
Whatever it is.
So even his solution to immortality is ultimately doomed to fail. And yeah, I mean, it's
Is
heavy.
it one of your favorites?
I don't know if it's one of my favorites. I think, is a great encapsulation of what Lupin is capable of as a franchise. Of, like, here's one extreme and here's the other, and this movie pretty much covers all of that. Even though it's not as gritty as the movies that we watched, it still is not a children's movie, I don't think. But I do think at least the latter half of the movie, it's one that you have to take seriously. So, the love part, I'm just reading through my notes here to make sure there wasn't anything else that... Oh, and then Zenigata, the inspector, right? So his chief finds him and basically tells him, like, all right, don't kill yourself trying to chase Lupin down. Here's a bonus from the police department. We're going to let you off from this case. Go home. Your daughter's starting college. Don't worry about it. And Zenigata tears up the check and is like, I'll just pursue him as a private citizen, So Lupin and Zenigata have an interesting relationship. In a way, Zenigata's whole purpose of life is chasing Lupin, but then it would be a thing of, once he does it, he loses his purpose for... So there's kind of that continuing enjoyment of the chase that Zenigata has for him. So even though the movie gets very serious and Lupin blows the brain up in space, ending Mamo, the ending is silly.
Mm.
So
I like the ending.
when Lupin beeps Fujiko's nipple,
and all the missiles go off. Everything starts exploding.
and Zenigata handcuffs his ankle to Lupin's ankle, and Jigen swoops in with the helicopter. Fujiko jumps on it, rides off, and then Zenigata and Lupin are having to run away. It's like, we'll have to work together to get out of this. So the movie ends, I think, in a great kind of lighthearted way. But anyway, that's probably all the value that I have to say. I like the movie a lot. I knew that it probably wouldn't be y'all's favorite, but I wanted to start from the very first one, and I think it really does give a good continuum of these are kind of the boundary points of Lupin. It can get this crazy all the way to this serious, and this movie kind of covers all of that. So thanks for watching, guys.
I still like Lupin, and I still want to watch more of it.
I liked it.
It
just
didn't deter me at all.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm gonna rewatch it for sure. I was curious though what your favorite version of Fujiko is.
My favorite version?
Yeah, all of them.
It's definitely
every last one of them.
I was curious how I need to watch the TV show, but I was curious how the TV show is versus movies, because I know movies have different versions pretty frequently compared to the. I don't know how the TV show is, but is it the same throughout like a whole chapter or like parts? Like,
well, even the TV series, especially the second season, there's over 150 episodes. There's several directors that have different takes on her. Even season one, I mean, Miyazaki basically did half of that season, and Fujiko is very G-rated in those. And even the relationship that her and Lupin have in Miyazaki's episodes and Cagliostro, like, it's hardly even hinted in Cagliostro that they have any kind of relationship.
I was going to say, watching Cagliostro first versus all the ones I've seen now, it's like she's non-existent.
And Fujiko looks like just a female Ghibli character in Cagliostro.
Yeah.
But my favorite take on her is when she's not too driven by greed, but she keeps Lupin like at an arm's length, like the tease kind of thing. There's this storytelling archetype or a trope called a femme fatale, which is French for a fatal woman. And a femme fatale in a story is a woman that is attractive, but that is unobtainable. And that's like how that portrayal of her is what I like. The third movie in the set of movies that we watched at the cabin is called Fujiko's Lie. I do not like her presentation in that one. It's not my favorite. And then they did a TV series of her in the 2010s called A Woman Named Mine Fujiko, and I don't like that one as much either. So somewhere between where her and Lupin have like show love for each other, and then where she kind of keeps him at an arm's distance.
Would you say the TV series versus the movies?
It just depends. I definitely want y'all to watch some of the first season. But it's also good, and there's just so much of it.
I'll be watching the whole show. You don't have to worry about the first season.
It's great. It's great. I like that Jess likes Fujiko.
Yeah.
And I want Jesse to see, because I think he would like Jigen more too. I want you to see some more movies where he's
I like him more than Lupin.
where he has more screen time, because Jigen's really cool.
Yeah.
They're all cool. It's it's absolutely my favorite franchise. So
Well, listen, I'm never against watching anime. I like anime.
Yeah.
So I'm always a fan when I get to watch it.
yeah, maybe we'll do Eiko next time.
I don't think you would like that at all.
How long is it?
It's not about the length. It's just the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got another idea that we might do that I know neither of you have seen, but anyways, glad y'all watched it.
Tim, it's your pick this week.
You know...
And I am so scared.
Well, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even realize it was my pick.
We said last week it was your turn.
I did not remember.
So do you know?
I don't know, but off the top of my head, I'm going to stick to what I do know.
Oh, come on, man.
And
You should have prepped, because then we wouldn't have to deal with this.
no, I know what I'm going to choose.
I know what you're going to choose.
What?
Kill Bill 2.
No.
Thank
I'm
God.
going to stick with the anime theme.
Oh,
And
no.
I know we've
Oh,
all
no.
seen it before, but like Ashton said, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, so we're going to rewatch it because I haven't seen it in a while. We're watching House Moving Castle.
Oh, come on. Dude, you cannot do that to me. We've all seen it, so why are we doing this?
Because it's great. I'm sticking to it.
I'm not watching it.
I would like to discuss that. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it again.
It's not on any streaming platform.
HBO Max has every Studio Ghibli movie.
I canceled it yesterday.
Sure you did. Jake has it, though. I could give you both the login.
Come on.
Tim has seen this movie so many times. I bet he has some deep insights into it.
We'll see.
Ash, I'm not even going to lie to you. There was a point in my life where I watched it 7 times a week, every night.
That's weird.
I don't think it is.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. But Jess, I know you're not a fan. But would you have been upset if I chose Kill Bill over this?
I'd rather watch Kill Bill.
Well, you're not going to.
Because I've seen Howl's Moving Castle.
Well, you're going to watch it again.
Maybe. I may be busy next week.
Listen, I really did forget, though, that it was my movie pick. And good for me, though, that I have movies off the top of my head that I want to
good for
watch.
you. Good
Yeah.
for you. Thank God for everybody involved. I'm going to be so honest next week about this
ahead.
movie.
It won't change my mind. I love that movie. I'm going to watch it.
How long is it?
I think it's 2 hours and...
Can we talk about the time limits?
It is a long movie, though.
All of the Ghibli movies are.
Yeah, but this one doesn't even feel long.
I think you just see over 2 hours before seeing a movie and say, that's going to be a good movie. I think that's one of your qualifications for a good movie.
No.
I don't understand.
No. Honestly, though, House Moving Castle doesn't feel like it's a long movie. It feels...
It does.
No.
I've seen
doesn't.
it. It drags.
I don't know what movie you're watching, but it's not
Howl's Moving Castle.
No, it can't be.
All right, fine. I'll try to carve time out of my busy next week, and we'll see what
Just
happens.
listen, I know you're off on Tuesday, so just knock it out on Tuesday. Like you do every other movie. I think you have knocked out most movies on Tuesday.
Every movie's been
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
So...
Damn it.
I know he has time, Ash. I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna text in the group chat on Tuesday. Say, did you watch yet?
Yeah. Say, how's the movie?
Yeah.
Fine.
Jess, I love that movie though.
I know.
I'm not even being.
Don't you have it on Blu-ray too?
Of course. I have the whole library on Blu-ray.
All right. You know what? This is why we do this.
Yeah, this is why we do
Yeah.
it.
I shouldn't be upset.
Because I know when you pick next time, it's probably gonna be a movie that we don't like. But
Al, you're gonna like next week's.
yeah, you already have it planned.
I've had it planned since week 1.
Week 1.
But I was gonna do it last time, but I wanted to pick kind of a Halloween theme.
Yeah.
And I wanted to buy you guys a movie, to be honest.
What a guy.
I wanted to buy Ashton a movie. You already had it. And I wanted it.
Did you return it?
Yeah.
The shaking copy.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's why.
that's what we're watching next week, reviewing next week.
Maybe.
I know we've all seen it, but it's good to recap and
It's
get
not.
a refresher.
No. All
All
right,
right.
fine.
Jesse's going to be an anime
That's what
expert
we're
by
watching.
the time we
We're
go
gonna
back.
Make him watch so much anime.
I'll tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna watch it on Tuesday. By Friday, I'm not gonna remember the movie, so I'm not gonna have a lot of thoughts.
Just
about
take
it.
notes.
I did, and I didn't even remember my notes.
I'll remember them for you. I know that movie like the back of my hand. I've even seen it in theaters twice.
I mean, good for you. I don't.
Which I will say, Ash, watching those movies in theaters, great experience. I love watching those.
Yeah.
On the big screen.
Every time they play them here, they're always dub only. I just don't. I don't
mind.
watch them.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I know you don't.
So you've never seen one of those in dub?
I've watched Kiki's Delivery Service, which
Great
has
movie.
Shia LaBeouf.
He voices one of the characters. I didn't
Shia
know that.
LaBeouf is in Kiki's Delivery
Can you
Service.
name off the top of your head? What's the one like the Little Mermaid?
Ponyo.
Ponyo. Liam Neeson voices one of the characters in Ponyo. It's so funny.
You mean Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson? What'd I say? Liam Neeson?
He said Liam Neeson.
Yeah. I think it's
But I thought
fun.
it's even funnier. Is
I thi-
Ashton wasn't even laughing at
Yeah,
it.
I think it's.
I didn't hear it.
I think it's funny that Qui-Gon Jinn voices one
Yeah,
of the.
that's who Liam Neeson is.
Oh, of
Qui-Gon.
course. Yeah, yeah.
Qui-Gon.
I couldn't name another character he's played.
I just think it's funny what voice actors they get to do the dub version
Yeah.
versus the sub. Like
Yeah.
in America, it's funny.
Yeah.
But
Good for you. Good pick, Tim.
great pick.
Trey, don't even bother watching that movie.
Watch it, Trey. Does he like anime? We didn't really talk about that last week.
If he has, he's never mentioned it. I feel like he doesn't.
Unfortunate.
Good for you, man.
I don't like that.
I was going to ask you how you got into anime when you were younger, because you've seemed to have watched a lot more than we have, and I was wondering how you got started or what your interest, how it got.
I didn't start watching it until I was in college.
Really?
The whole Dragon Ball, Pokemon thing growing up, I watched that, but I didn't connect that with anime. I just thought it was cartoons. I got serious about learning Japanese when I was a sophomore. So I would have been 20. And that was a way for me to hear native speakers. And it also, I've always liked animation, but anime wasn't something that I would have gotten into in high school, but it was like the fact that I was in college. It's like, well, I'll just try this out. And boy, didn't know what I was getting into.
I was curious because
The
I know in high school it's kind of like back when we were in high school, it's kind of like a thing you keep secret. 'Cause
Yeah,
people
yeah.
make fun of you.
right, yeah, no, not the thing you talk about.
No.
That, or even, I didn't even really want to talk about playing Pokemon or really video games in general. Things are so different now.
Yeah.
So many,
It's cool now.
Yeah.
Which is kind of annoying
yeah.
at the same time.
I mean, and that was only, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
10 or 11 years ago?
I always remember going into my brother's room, and every time I would walk into the room, he would pause what he was watching because he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
want me to make fun of him.
Oh, yeah.
It was like clockwork. Right when he heard the door open, he would just pause and look at you. And he's like, "What do you want?" But yeah, I was curious because I didn't get into anime till I was at UPS, so that would have been like 4 or 5 years ago. So I would have been like 22, 23.
Did you have someone else that was watching it at the same time you were?
No, I mean I had people who told me about certain shows growing up in high school, but I never I would watch certain things when I would go to people's houses, but I would never do it on my own. And then for some reason I got into movie reviews on YouTube, and I would watch people review movies and TV shows. And this one guy did a whole anime series, and I would just watch them all. So I was like, I got to see all these. So I watched every movie review, and then I would watch all the movies that he reviewed, and I would see for myself. And that's how I got into it.
Yeah.
But I started with movies. I didn't start with TV shows.
There's, I'm curious if this happened to you. There are phases of fandom, like when you get into it, all of it's new, because you can really break, just like with anything, you can break anime into categories. So there's like the action and the sci-fi, fantasy, then there's slice of life. And for the most part, there's a formula that each genre kind of follows, and you know exactly what you're going to get with it. There's not that many breakthrough things. And then the shonen stuff is Dragon Ball and Naruto and Bleach. And
Did you ever watch Naruto?
I watched a good portion of just Naruto, but it was a combination of just how much there was, because Shippuden had already finished airing, and that was just hundreds of episodes.
It's very overwhelming.
It is, and it was the same thing with One Piece. I watched the first 150 or so episodes of One Piece, and then I fell off of that. Oh, Jesse, no, there's like 800 episodes.
I don't It's crazy.
And it's still going.
It's still going.
That's crazy.
Because everybody at work tells me like Naruto is one of the best, and every time I'm like, but that's such a commitment.
Yeah, where do you start?
Where do you go?
It is, but it's also one of those shows that I'm going to get just, not that anime fans are listening to this, but I'm going to get just drug over the coals for this. It's one of those shows that like teenage, young adult fans that are new to anime get into, and it's just like, oh man, this is the greatest thing ever. But once you watch Dragon Ball and you watch Naruto and you watch One Piece, all of these shows are made by the same.
I feel like those are the three pillars.
They are.
Like those are the three main things that people go to. It's
the mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
Which turns most people off to it when people are like, "Oh, you need to watch this one."
Right.
You know, it's like, really?
Right. But Tim, I'm curious if you ever had this phase, because like when I started, I was just like, everything was new, and so I was watching all of it. But after you watch enough of a certain genre, then especially the newer shows, it's all the same thing. It's just slightly different artwork. You start to fine tune your taste, where it's like, all right, this is good. I can't believe I liked that, but that's just not that good anymore. And I guess part of it too is just becoming an adult. And then you might even reach a point to where it's like, really none of the stuff is that good. But then you come back to it's
like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's like you enjoy it, but you don't want anybody to know you enjoy it. You just want to leave it left alone and just behind the doors when you watch it. But I had some stuff growing up that I watched with Brandy from Peoples. That he really introduced me to a lot of anime growing up, but there was this one show that I wish I could remember for the life of me because I loved it. And I went to spring break with them a lot, him and his family, and on the way to Florida, we would watch anime like the whole time. And there was this one show that I got really into that we watched probably like 8 or 10, 12 hours of. I just do not remember it at all, and I really wish I did, but he introduced me to like a lot of TV shows, movies, like a ton of stuff. And then I grew out of it, and then I stopped, and then I went back to it, and then I waited, and then I went back to it when I graduated and was out of school. But I would say for me, it's always been the same, that I enjoyed slice of life and like the relaxing kind of anime versus the like gory, violent, like all that. But I guess that's why I like Ghibli so much, for me at least. I just enjoy relaxing and watching a good story.
Ghibli is also high quality, though.
It is. They don't make, like, it might seem like there's a lot of movies, but for the timeline that they do it, it's really not that many for how long they've been around. Yeah. And there's only like, there's, I want to say only like 20-something movies.
Yeah, they would only do a movie every 3 years or
Yeah,
so.
because it would take that long to draw.
Yeah, and all of it is hand drawn.
Yeah.
But it helped. One of the things that helped me is that I had Gary that got really into it at the same time I did, and so we had a kindred spirit to hype each other up on it with. But the first time that I went to a con, that was I'm so glad I did that. That was really a cool.
Was it high school?
My first one was in 2016. Because I did 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah.
So way after high school.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird to say? Way after high school?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years after high school.
Decade.
Yeah, we're old.
But yeah, nonetheless, Jess, I'm glad that we are not forcing you, but you are wanting to watch.
Wanting?
Yes.
No, I'm forced. I'm getting forced.
Oh.
Because we're making a commitment to do this. And I can't back out.
I thought you just said you like Lupin.
I did. I'm talking about Ghibli.
Oh.
I thought that's what you were talking
Yeah.
about.
Well,
Yeah. I'm being forced.
Yeah. You're accepting the terms.
Yeah, I guess so. Cool. All right, that's the movie.
Didn't mean
move
to go on this tangent of
let's move
anime,
on.
but we can move on.
All right. Should we get to this sports talk?
I mean, if you want to.
You don't have to.
I feel like you're getting sleepy over there.
I'm not sleepy at all.
No. All right.
I was zoned out when you were talking about Ghibli.
Let's bring him back, Tim.
Let's bring him back in.
What do you want to talk about?
So, week
Right.
7,
Yeah.
I got 11 picks right. And I don't know how that happened. Somehow I got all of the 425 games right. I got the Sunday night right, and I got Thursday night right. I cannot believe the Bears beat the Patriots.
Dude, we all got that one wrong. Trey got 10 right. I got 9.
Of course, the Falcons
Freaking
let me down.
Patriots. Yeah, they're the worst.
The
Fun
fan cons.
The fan cons, yeah. Yeah.
Can
how
I
did,
say-
how did Trey do?
Dude, he got 10.
Okay, all right.
He got all of the 430s. I got the Dolphins right.
Uh-huh.
He picked the Bucks with me, and we both got that wrong. Unfortunately.
I picked the Ravens on that one.
Yeah, I thought
The
it was
Bucks
going to
have
be...
lost 3 in a row.
I know.
Not looking good.
Hey, the
No.
Packers losing to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
That's rough.
Yeah.
Horrible. Are they 3-4 also?
Mm-hmm.
Bucks are 3-4. I mean, it's...
You know, the Falcons are number 1 in their division because of that loss.
What?
Not a good division.
Rise up.
Really? Who else is in?
Rise up.
Who else is in their division?
The Panthers, the
Saints.
Saints.
Oh, you guys are fine. You guys would be fine.
They're going to be number 1 for at least another week.
Yeah.
At least another week.
Yeah, because they play, who do they play? They play
They have a bye.
the
it looks
Panthers.
like.
They play the Panthers.
Oh,
and the
they'll win
Panthers
that.
suck. Yeah.
They'll win that.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go over the schedule?
Sure, why not? Go ahead, Tim.
Bears at Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys, but I know they're going to win. So,
Bears are looking real good lately.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Steelers at Eagles.
What do you think?
I'd hate to say it, but
The
Eagles,
Yeah, the
they're
Eagles
flying
will win.
high.
Philadelphia
They're
rivals
6-0.
here. It's a... I don't know.
I don't like Jalen Hurts.
They're 7-0. Did they play last week?
Oh, are they? I thought there was.
Oh, maybe they had a bye.
I don't know. You're probably right.
No, they had a
Either
bye.
way, they're
They're
undefeated.
6-0.
We all know the Broncos suck.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I'm going Jags.
Oh, this is a tough game right here.
I'm going with the Broncos.
Patriots at Jets.
Oh, the Jets are going to win.
I'm picking the Pats. I can't pick the Jets.
I'm
Sorry, Dan.
I'm picking the Broncos on the last game, by the way.
Bronx.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay.
They stink.
Tim, let me remind
I'm
you.
picking the Patriots.
The Patriots lost to the Bears at home last week.
I know.
Hey, but listen.
I know.
Listen, Dan has informed me that the Jets are missing 4 of their starters this week, out for the season.
What positions?
Like key positions. One
no.
wide receiver. I think their running back is out, and Zach Wilson is not playing very well. So I'm going. Yeah, I mean, I would have picked the Pats anyway because it's the Pats, but we're having a little QB situation right now that we're trying to figure out and work through. So we'll see how it goes. Mac Jones is starting on Sunday, though.
Yes. So now we're going to the Raiders at Saints. I'm picking the Raiders. They're both iffy, but I think the Raiders can pull it out.
I'm going to go Saints on that one.
I'm going Raiders.
Okay. Dolphins at Lions.
What do you think?
I think Tua's back.
He was back last week.
Okay. So
He's undefeated this year.
I'm going Dolphins.
The
Dolphins.
Lions are so bad.
Yeah. They score a lot of points, though. That's the
Let's
problem.
rise up.
Rise up, Ash.
Rise
I'm
up.
picking the
Rise up.
Falcons over the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Rising up. I'm picking Vikings.
Yeah, me too. Cardinals at Vikings.
Yeah?
I'm picking the Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
So for every 4:30 game, I'm picking the left side. Every team.
All right, let me look at it.
So we got Titans at Texans. I'm
Yeah.
picking the Titans.
You're picking all away teams.
Yes.
Oh.
Giants at Seahawks. I'm picking the Giants.
Are you?
Yeah. So their last like 3 or 4 games, they've come from behind in the fourth quarter to win.
Yeah, but the Seahawks are like, it seems like they're getting better every week.
Seahawks have Geno Smith. He's
Trey
not a
was
good
hot on
quarter-
Geno Smith
Yeah,
last
he's
week.
not a good
Didn't they win last
quarterback.
week?
I don't know. Did they?
Yeah. They won. They beat the Chargers. At the Chargers.
Chargers are good.
Trey is smart.
Okay, well, you could pick the Seahawks.
I'm picking the Giants.
I'm picking the Giants.
I'm sorry.
Trey is smart. I'm picking the other team.
Well, I don't know who he's picking in that one.
Commanders
I'm
at Colts.
sure he would pick the Seahawks.
I'll text him too.
I'm picking Commanders. There's no way Matt Ryan wins. He got benched. So
Wait, who?
Yeah,
Matt
man.
Ryan got benched.
Yes, he did. No, he's hurt.
No, he got benched.
I could have swore I read that he was hurt and he's out for the season.
His pride's hurt.
I'll pick the Commanders.
All right, we got 49ers at Rams. The Rams are playing like garbage. I'm picking the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now this 8:30 game, Packers at Bills.
I'll pick 49ers.
I'm picking the Packers.
All right. Hey, you know what? Every time I laugh every week at a single game, I'm always wrong about it. Have you noticed that? Because it's
Yeah.
happened.
I'm only picking the Packers because they're a family favorite and they've been struggling. So
Family favorite. One
Yeah.
person in your family likes
My
them.
grandma is a Packers fan. My
Really?
uncle is a Packers fan.
Your
Yeah.
grandma's a Giants fan.
No, she's a Packers fan. She
Wha-
roots for the Giants, but she's a Packers fan.
What?
Yeah.
I did not get that.
Yeah.
I wondered why she kept wanting to go back to the Packers game.
Yeah,
I
she's
thought it was because they were like,
No,
I
she's a
don't
Packers fan.
wow, I'm going Bills. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What?
She's
She's from Brooklyn.
she's from the Bronx.
I know, but
She always liked the Packers. Always.
is the Bronx in Brooklyn?
Good question. I don't know.
We should know that.
You know, a weird thing is, I didn't know this. I always thought it was less, but when we were talking, my grandma and my grandpa moved from the Bronx to New Jersey when they had 6 kids. I thought they only had like 2 or 3, but they moved to New Jersey when they had 6, which is crazy.
Good grief.
Ash, they have 9 kids.
That's a lot of children.
It is. They all turned out all right.
Bengals at Browns, Tim.
I'm picking the Bengals. Joe Burrow has been hot the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think so.
And Thursday night next, Eagles at Texans.
What do you think?
I'm picking the Eagles because they're
course.
undefeated, but
One of these days they're going to lose, but it's not against the Texans.
no. It's
So
not
they've got to
against
play the
Texans.
Steelers and the Texans. Yeah, they should win
That's an
both.
easy
They
of
should
those.
win both of those.
They should.
And speaking of Philly, they're undefeated, and the World Series Game 1 is right now.
No one cares.
Can I just say what it is?
No one cares.
Yeah, go for it.
It's the bottom of the 7th, and it's tied 5-5.
Wow.
Can I say Houston was up 5-1? and Philly came back and scored 4 runs.
Do you really see the Phillies winning the World Series, though?
Yeah.
What?
We're supposed to lose every game. They
Yeah.
were even supposed to lose their wild card game.
Yeah, but
they've been hot.
Yeah, but the
They've been
Astros
hitting.
also were supposed to
know,
be winning every game.
but
But happened.
Philly beat 2 number ones. They beat the Mets and they beat the Braves. I mean, you can't knock the Braves. They won the World Series last year.
No, yeah.
So, or I don't think they beat the Mets. I think the Mets lost to the Padres. But either way.
They wouldn't have beat both of them. would
No,
they?
I'm saying I think the Mets played the Padres, not the Phillies. But the Phillies were a wild card team, and somehow they made it to the World Series. So,
What are the odds?
yeah.
Has baseball always had wild card teams?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just extended this year, apparently, or something. There's more wild card teams this year. Isn't that what Trey said last
I think
week?
that's what Trey was saying. Yeah.
Did he say that?
I think they extended the amount of wild cards that can play into it.
Yeah, he was making the point about the teams that were not wild cards had all that extra time off.
Right.
Ended up hurting them.
Right.
So, is that our sports? I know that we
NBA is in full swing.
Wow. I was going to talk about college. I was going to
on.
say, I know we have Georgia, Florida this weekend.
Not good.
The Bucks are undefeated right now.
Georgia's got to play Florida. And they've got to play Kentucky.
Can we
They've
talk
gotta
about
play
Georgia
Tennessee.
playing Tennessee in a
The
couple
Lakers
weeks?
have not won a game yet.
Listen, can we all get together for that Georgia-Tennessee game?
It's going to be intense.
It's going to be very
When is it?
intense. I think it's November 4th or 5th
That's next weekend.
next weekend.
Sure.
We don't want to force you. You sound so happy about it.
No, I don't. We can watch it. What?
Let me
Just
make
the way you said that, you're like, sure.
Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. Georgia, Tennessee on the 5th.
You're funny.
On the 5th. What is that?
November
Saturday?
5th. That is next Saturday.
Yeah. So after Jesse gets a switch, the next day we'll be watching the Georgia Tennessee
Ooh.
game.
What does it have to do with the Switch?
Well, that's the 4th. We're talking about the 5th. But I just want to hype up the events.
I mean, I know you're saying this now, but tomorrow, are you still going to want to get together for the game for next week? Because you say things, and then when the time comes, you're not going to be here.
I've been wanting to watch every college game. In fact,
You talked about NFL the
as
same way.
you so kindly remember, I was giving you updates about the Alabama-Tennessee game because I was so into it.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
We were talking about it.
Did
the
you
whole
notice
time.
towards the end of the podcast, we never even acknowledged when you
Yeah,
would say something?
Of course.
We just kept going.
It was such a big game. I had to give updates.
Yeah,
And Alabama lost, so that was a plus.
it was a big deal.
So we have November 5th, the Georgia-Tennessee, number 1, number 3.
I'm saying, are you going to want to get together that day? Or is it the morning going to come and you're going to say, I'm just going to watch it at home?
So the game is, well, first of all, the last 2 weekends I've been sleeping here on Friday night, and the game's on Saturday.
That doesn't have anything to do with
So
it.
I've been hanging out here every weekend.
I'm referring to NFL Sundays.
I don't care about NFL as much as
Right
college.
before NFL started, you were like, NFL Sundays, we're getting jerseys, we got NFL Sunday ticket, we're watching every week.
I think you said that.
I said the NFL Sunday ticket part.
I know, and
But you were all for
agreed to
NFL. You're like,
jersey.
football season's coming.
Yeah,
you did.
I said football season.
We were all going to get a jersey.
I didn't say I didn't say NFL. I said football season.
I think you inferred.
Either way, I'm very into college football, and if you guys want to get together, we don't have to do it here. We could go to Taco Mac or
Oh.
Miller's.
That sounds good.
I haven't been to Taco Mac in a while, so I'm always.
It's like we go to Miller's when we go over there.
I know Miller's is changed their menu a lot, but I hear good things about Taco Mac. So
That's good.
if we want to go there, change up.
They have better bagel bites. Not bagel bites.
Bagel bites.
What's the matter with me? Pretzel bites.
Oh, Ash, I was saying that for Georgia, Tennessee, if we want to try Taco Mac. If we want to shake it up and go to Taco Mac for the Georgia, Tennessee game, because I haven't been there in a while.
Okay.
And I know Miller's has changed up their menu quite a lot, so But I was gonna ask you guys, are we done with sports?
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say.
Hey, the Lakers have not won a game yet.
Okay, we're done with sports. So I was gonna ask you guys.
We're below the Kings.
Now that Halloween is upon us and we're passing on,
In what world are the Jazz number one?
are we looking forward to Thanksgiving more or Christmas more, or what's your favorite in between?
Thanksgiving.
I know Christmas is usually a fan favorite, but I'm looking forward to. I always enjoy
favorite.
I always enjoy Thanksgiving more. It is a fan favorite.
Fan favorite.
People enjoy Christmas because of the gifts, but I enjoy Thanksgiving because of the food and the people more. And then I enjoy because then we talk about Black Friday, but we never go. But we talk about the deals. Never do anything about it.
I think I'm more of a Thanksgiving person as I grow older.
Yes.
I love. I mean, I think we talk about it like almost every year, but I like just people getting together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, I care less about the gifts, honestly. Like every year.
I care way more about giving those gifts.
Yeah. When people ask me what I want, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't want anything.
I don't want anything. I just want to hang out. Because I realize, like, as you get older, like, not only you get older, but your parents get older. And everybody keeps, like, so you don't know how long you have. But I just enjoy hanging out with everybody, literally relaxing, not having to move. Because we move 24/7, 363, 364 out of the year. We don't move.
Do you think there's
365.
363 days a year?
No, we only move. I'm
He's
saying we
saying
take,
outside
we
of the
take
holidays.
time off.
Oh, you're counting Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yes, we take time off, Jesse. I'm not that stupid.
I didn't know.
So we take time to relax and not have to worry about it. And I honestly, like, I still think about last year when we all hung out and just opened cards. I know that's expensive, but it was enjoyable.
I'd do it any day.
It was enjoyable nonetheless.
Yep.
And
It was awesome having Ashton over
Yeah.
on Christmas Day.
Christmas night.
It's the first time I've seen him on a holiday like that. And he made it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I think he'll do it again. I don't think he was opposed to it.
Well, I'll probably be here by that night. I think we're driving home Christmas Day.
On the road Christmas Day.
Yeah. I mean, I have to come back that day because we're going to work.
Well,
next day.
you guys will probably have to come over because I know Jake also got you both gifts, or he's thinking about getting you both gifts.
That's awesome.
He's actually said that because he's listening to the podcast, he's got gift ideas for both of you.
Whoa.
What a guy.
That's pretty cool.
So he says he's learned more what to get you guys from listening.
He doesn't just know me after knowing me for 25
I know.
years.
You'll have to talk to him
I'm
about
upset
it.
about it. I think you'd know a guy.
Yeah.
I actually saw, for some reason this past week, I had an amazing idea to get Jake, and it slipped my mind. So that sucks. I'll figure it out. I always figure out something. I was walking around Walmart. Probably had something to do with Walmart.
All right, Jess. Write it down next time.
I'm the worst.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. I really enjoy taking a breather and relaxing for even if it is 1 or 2 days.
Yeah. Is Christmas on Sunday?
It is.
So we don't really get any extra time off.
What's your holiday?
The corporate world is supposed to observe it if it falls on a weekend the following day. So I should have Monday off. I hope I do.
You know what I hate about the company I work for is they will pay you for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day if you go in the next day. So I'll get paid for Saturday and Sunday, but I have to go in Monday to get paid for it, which is...
I don't get paid for it. Kind of dumb. What?
I was going to say, don't you work on Black Friday and you get paid like triple pay?
Yeah, but it doesn't... You get paid on it. Why can't I get paid on it?
Well, I don't get paid regular pay.
No, I mean on Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Oh. I don't know.
And Christmas Eve to us is a regular work day. We don't get any type of double time, half time, anything like that.
So can you lay out your schedule? Are you going to be gone Christmas Eve and Christmas Day?
Probably.
Are you going the day before Christmas Eve? Like, are you spending that whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
What I would imagine is, depending on how we do Christmas here, if we do it, we may have to do it the weekend before. I don't know.
So you're not even going to be here for the Christmas Eve party?
No. Nope.
All right. Well, there's a first for everything.
Yeah. I've accepted it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Dude, enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Don't think about here.
That's impossible. Like the last 25 years of my life never happened on Christmas Eve.
No, I'm just saying don't think about this one. You could think about the old ones. Just don't think about this one while
Sure.
you're there.
It's that easy.
For me, it would be, but not for Jesse.
I know it would. It'll be all right. Yeah, I would assume we'll drive back Christmas Day because I got to be back to work. We'll probably leave, I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. Be back here for whatever festivities we got going on.
I know your in-laws are coming the week before Thanksgiving to celebrate, which also involves me. So, are they doing it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday night. Probably like 7 o'clock maybe.
That just means I get 2 meals.
Be a late
so
dinner.
Be good.
I'll be driving back from Moultrie that day. My dad and my brother are going to a car show, and they want me to go with them. Yeah.
FOMO Jesse over here.
I don't have FOMO because I'm making it to both.
No, but I'm saying you would have FOMO if you didn't go to the car show.
No, I don't want to go to the car show.
Oh.
I'm going because they want me to go. They go every year, and it's like we used to do it when me and Billy were kids. My dad used to take us to car shows, and like we bring in a camper and stay for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, like, I think he misses it, so I'm gonna make it to this one.
Well, listen, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, I think so.
I just enjoy the end of the year, November, December, beginning of January.
Yeah,
It's
dude,
a good time.
I already started Christmas decor shopping.
I think I have something in mind for the room when we're doing podcasts. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Should we each bring something like that?
I think I have something.
Yeah?
Yeah. Wow. Listen, I hate to say it, Jess, because I know you love this room, but I think eventually this is going to be like a permanent thing. I think we got a setup going on. You might have
think
to
so?
rearrange your room a little bit.
What's wrong with this?
Well, I know you don't want something in the middle of the room.
I mean, if I roll it out when we're done. That's why it's round.
The round table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't like it?
No, I do. It's good. It fits all your Apple devices, Ashton
Honestly,
and Jesse.
It's the yeah.
Honestly,
kidding.
when we started the idea, I was like, I have that table, but it may be too big. It's like the perfect
It's the
size.
perfect size.
It really is.
It's got enough room for one more person.
Yeah.
Especially when I was going to say, especially when we have a guest.
Yeah.
It fits it.
Yeah. Who would you like our next guest to be?
Patrick Ham.
He had that one at the ready.
Listen, I know that's probably out of the realm of possibility, but if we ever want to talk about video games for 3 hours, we can get my brother on.
Oh, absolutely.
No, we need to have him on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I want to have everybody on eventually at some
Mhm.
point. My next guest idea was either Pat or Navarro. I really like to have Navarro on.
Listen, it's not about us; it's about him. He's so busy.
I know.
Get the man a time.
Think we can tie him down for
I
3
know.
hours?
No. Well,
Be an hour commute here, hour commute home?
he would just spend the night. Him and Lucy always spend the night when
Yeah.
they do that. Yeah, I think we could. If we told him, hey, we're recording this Friday, yeah, he would absolutely make it work. Because he doesn't work Saturdays anymore.
I really can't think of anyone that you would bring in here and I'd be like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Because
I'm-
we're all the same friends
I'm good with
everybody.
anyone.
Yeah. Jake would be fun.
Listen, Navarro, if you're listening, the only thing you have to do, because you don't do it often, is have a beverage, an adult beverage.
Lucy would love that.
Yeah, Lucy would love that.
Yeah.
So that's the only request I have from you.
I'd like to have him on. It'd be a lot of Lego talk. It'd be pretty awesome. A lot of Star Wars.
I'm excited for you to do your first Lego build. I think you'll
I cannot wait.
enjoy it. Honestly, don't even feel rushed because I'm a slow builder too.
Let me tell you what Jesse hit me up with this week. The man had a vision.
It was a voice memo.
He had a vision. He said, "We're building the tree, the Lego Christmas tree, and we put on the Charlie Brown vinyl you bought from Walmart on the record player and play it while we're building the tree
Mm-hmm.
with coffee, with peppermint creamer."
Peppermint mocha. Tim has nothing to say about that.
Well,
He immediately got. He's like a squirrel. His phone lights up. He's like, I'm out.
it all sounds good
What does?
until you get to the I'll say I don't mind peppermint creamer. I actually don't mind creamer, but I don't use it anymore. But the only thing that would make it better is if you chose peppermint mochas from Starbucks that day. Get
Nah.
festive.
Nah. How festive? I think we should put a like a virtual Yule log burning on the
Yeah.
projector also. Yeah.
You know what's crazy that I forgot about? That Lego used to do Overwatch Legos.
Dude, I had all of them.
You have them all?
I did.
You sold them?
Yeah.
Why?
Right when I moved in here, I sold them. I don't know. I was dumb. They're still not that expensive, but I can't believe they got that IP for a while. I didn't have all of them. I had
Reinhardt Diva.
no. I had Wrecking Ball, and I had Tracer and
You didn't have Reinhardt?
Widow.
I swear you had Reinhardt.
I did have Reinhardt. Yes, I did. You're right, because he was sitting on my desk for a little bit. Yeah, that was dumb. That was before I got heavy back into Legos. Now I wish I kept them, obviously. Wrecking Ball was really cool. I like Legos. Yeah.
I like the idea of me liking Legos.
Yes. I'm kind of like that too.
Yeah. Ash, do you ever see getting yourself another Lego?
I don't want to. I like Legos, but I don't need that expensive hobby.
That's true.
Let me tell you though, I'm buying a box of cards next month. Tuesday.
my
I've got a
heart's-
reminder set on my phone.
Yeah, I was excited
What
when
is
he
it?
texted me this.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Is it a new set?
Darkwing Blast.
Is it, so you're getting it day one, I guess?
It came out on the 21st, so it will have been out for about 10 days.
Are you saving it, or are you going to open it right
I'm
away?
going to open it. I just really have the itch to open some cards.
Yeah, he does.
I have Tim to thank for getting me back into Yu-Gi-Oh!
What started it?
That faithful night at Miller's, where the man said, "Ashton, have you ever seen IP Masquerena before?" Said, "I'm listening."
Yeah.
The man shows me his phone. Said, interesting.
Listen, I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's nearly impossible to pull what you want versus Pokemon. Like, there's a chance in Pokemon, but Yu-Gi-Oh is so much harder. Like, you have to open cases and cases and cases of boxes
Yeah.
to get, like, the ones that you are chasing after.
Yeah.
But it is fun to rip packs. I do like ripping packs.
I think the last Pokemon set of Sword and Shield comes out next week.
I haven't opened a pack of cards in so long.
You want me to change that for you?
Didn't you open up those MetaZoo packs at the cabin?
No.
Jesse didn't give you a couple packs to open?
I did. I
Yeah.
think he means like for himself. You opened some of mine.
Oh, well, that doesn't count. The jungle ones?
UFO.
UFO.
Yeah. I'm going to buy Seance, a booster box of Seance.
Just one? Keep it sealed?
I think so.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like all those cards are kind of like on the decline. Like not just MetaZoo, but Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Like everything's just like
Everything.
Everything's coming down from the
Yeah.
crazy economy.
thank God.
I'll check TCG.
God, so-
Have you kept up with Flesh and Blood?
Not really.
No.
The booster boxes for the newest set are selling between $60 and $70, so
Yeah.
not very good.
I do like I still love Tales of Arya.
Yeah,
Set.
the artwork's great.
Still beautiful.
Yeah. So good. But yeah, it's just not there.
I don't know if it's going to make it. I'm even concerned about MetaZoom.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's such a hard space to get into and get established.
Because I feel like now, even though MetaZoo's on its fifth set, I think. Yeah, it's fifth set, but it only got to that set because of how popular it was during the boom. And now that it's all dying, they're trying to keep it alive, but I feel like it's on the decline. No matter what they do, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
I looked up Evolving Skies booster boxes.
Mm-hmm.
$250 for one booster box.
Do you remember when we were going to buy a case for $609?
Yes, I did.
And Jesse and I said, that's too expensive for us to split.
They are $1,450 right now. But I have a booster box of this.
A booster box.
I have one booster box.
I thought you were going to buy a second one a while ago.
When they did the last print wave, I was gonna, but the print wave came out and the prices went up. I have no idea why. But the VMAX Umbreon, $520.
Doesn't Zach have that card?
Yes, he does. That Rayquaza that I have and he has, $300.
The man could buy a car with the amount of cards he has.
Zach's got a lot of cards.
Yeah.
He's switching all his pops for cards.
What stinks is I have the I have like four or six of the ETBs, and those are still like $50. I thought they would have went up. It almost pays to like rip them open at this point and pull some.
There's so many valuable cards in that set.
I'm on page 3, and I'm still above $12 for singles. I mean, that set's hot. What? What? Okay. Legos?
I really wanted to build an NES.
Yeah, one of these days. What else do I have?
Did you buy that Cantina before or after the price hike?
Well before. I was on vacation when I bought that, which explains it. Yeah, it seems like Evolving Skies is the only price that has gone up. Everything else is under $100, man. Which stinks. What are you going to do? Maybe I'll open a booster of like Chilling Reign or something when we're doing Christmas.
I like it.
I'm down for anything.
You know TCG sells comics now?
You guys mentioned it.
That's all. They sell comics. It's kind of cool.
Well,
and Pops, apparently. It's probably when eBay took over. They were like, you guys need to start selling everything. Like us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous. All right, well, we're slowing down here, you can tell. We didn't end last week with something good.
True.
we haven't ended with something good in like
Jesus.
4 weeks.
It's been a while, though.
or 5
Is it
weeks.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we only did that first 2 episodes.
no. We did it
Yes.
more than that.
It's been a while since we've done that.
Oh, all right.
Jesse wants to bring it back.
I was just trying to keep conversation going at this point.
I say we just end it on episode 9. Listen, next week is episode 10. Double digits.
I had a great thing happen to me this week.
We're listening.
No, I did.
Yeah.
So Thursday night, I was burning a bunch of brush and branches and stuff in the backyard.
Interesting.
And yeah, that was it. All right, guys. See you. No. And then my neighbor was working on his house next door. And he came by just to talk for a while. And then my dad ended up coming by and hanging out. And kind of like halfway through them talking and having a conversation, Dwight, my neighbor, was like, "You want a beer?" And my dad, he was kind of like working in the garage. So he was kind of like hesitant. He goes, "Yeah, sure, I'll have one." And he went inside and got one. And then my dad went and grabbed a cigar. And then after like a half hour, Dwight was like, he goes like, "You want a shot of Hennessy?" And my dad was like, I mean, if you're doing one. So he's like, "Yeah, come on in." So we went to my neighbor's house, and he's got this nice like back set up inside with like surround sound and a bar and stuff. All that being said, the point I'm trying to get at is I had this really cool moment when I was sitting in the back with my dad. We all had chairs pulled out and stuff. We were hanging out. And it was like, wow, I'm however old I am, and I'm having a beer with my neighbor. It was such a cool, weird moment that I think he's not even listening. It was a cool like lost. It was like a cool lost moment of like getting to know your neighbors,
Right.
you know, and being able to hang out with him. And he's just such a cool guy. And then we ended up hanging out in his house for like over 2 hours, just like having a cigar and a beer and just hanging out with him. And it was this weird moment of like being with my dad. And, you know, growing up, we knew our neighbors and we used to play with them and stuff. And now I'm like, I have my own neighbors, and I don't know, it was a cool, weird moment. It's one of those things that you think is almost a lost art at this point, like getting to know your neighbors and to the point of hanging out at their house, you know. I haven't had that for such a long time, and I had this weird moment of like an adult moment of like, I'm like having a beer with my neighbor. So that was a really cool moment. One of those times that I like forgot where my phone was for 2 hours, you know?
Yep.
It was really cool, man. Which makes me appreciate stuff like this when we're just sitting around having conversation, you know? And I was even thinking of the podcast being like, man, it's really cool that we're doing this and being able to, we're going to be able to remember it forever, you know, because we're recording it. A lot of these conversations we'd forget, you know? That's my moment.
I was listening.
No, you
Don't
weren't.
worry about it.
Okay.
I heard the whole conversation.
I'm sure you did.
I was just spacing out for a second.
Yeah. All right, so what are we doing this weekend?
So tomorrow you guys are playing Overwatch 2. I'm going to my parents to hang out with my family for a little bit till they leave. And then I might come back here and see how bad you guys are at raging at
Wow.
Overwatch 2.
Thank you.
Maybe throw a controller or two. I don't know.
I don't think we're going to get upset one bit.
PS5 controllers are too expensive to throw.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
afford another one.
Yeah. Yeah, I envision us tomorrow, Ash, waking up whenever we get up, hop in the old Mustang, drive to the square, grab us some coffee, and come back and play some Overwatch, man.
Oh,
What do you think?
sounds good to me.
All right, man.